The Project Gutenberg ebook of A Drunk Man Looks at the Thistle. This ebook is for the use of anyone anywhere in the United States and most other parts of the world at no cost and with almost no restrictions whatsoever. You may copy it, give it away or reuse it under the terms of the Project Gutenberg license included with this ebook or online at www.gutenberg.org. If you are not located in the United States, you will have to check the laws of the country where you are located before using this ebook. Title: A Drunk Man Looks at the Thistle. Author: Hugh MacDiarmid. Release date: January 15, 2024. Ebook number 72731. Language: English. Original publication: Edinburgh, William Blackwood and Sons, 1926. Credits: Aaron Adrignola, Tim Lindell, and the online distributed proofreading team at https://www.pgdp.net. This book was produced from images made available by the Hathitrust Digital Library. Start of the Project Gutenberg ebook. A Drunk Man Looks at the Thistle. A Drunk Man Looks at the Thistle by the same author. Sangska. 1925, 5/Pennyweep. 1926, 5/ In Preparation. To Circumjax and Crastus. A Drunk Man Looks at the Thistle by Hugh MacDiarmid, author of Sangska, etc. Vast imbecile mentality of those who cannot tell a thistle from a rose, this is for others. Sach Everell Sidwell. William Blackwood and Sons Ltd. Edinburgh and London 1926. Printed in Great Britain. All rights reserved. To F. G. Scott. Kenrat rhyme and ragments o Quenry and Recall o Gilhar requite your Faberdown, figuration, and Gemmel, and Pricksang's delight. Though you've capiloed me in the reapin and yours was a bursten kernte, yet you share your advantage wi me in the end o the day. And my flightin and sclatry sol be wi your fantas and mockage entwined as the botch earth is wi the lift or fate wi mankind. Author's note. This gallimaufry is dedicated to my friend, Francis George Scott, the composer, who suggested it, and to whom, during the course of writing it, I have been further greatly indebted for cooperative suggestions and for some of the most penetrating and comprehensive of modern European criticism. I would gratefully acknowledge, too, the assistance I have received from my friend, Dr. Pitendry McGillivray, and from my wife, in the revision of proofs. To the editor of the Glasgow Herald I have to tender the customary acknowledgments for his kindness in allowing me to republish here certain portions of my poem which originally appeared in his columns. Drunkenness has a logic of its own with which, even in these decadent days, I believe a sufficient minority of my countrymen remain au fait. I would, however, take the liberty of counseling the others, who have no personal experience or sympathetic imagination to guide them, to be chary of attaching any exaggerated importance, in relation to my book as a whole, to such inadvertent reflections of their own sober minds as they may from time to time as in a distorting mirror detect in these pages, and of attempting, in, no doubt, a spirit of real helpfulness, to confer, on the basis of these, a species of intelligibility foreign to its nature, upon my poem. It would have been only further misleading these good folks, therefore, if I had, as, arbitrarily enough at best, I might have done, divided my poem into sections or in other ways supplied any of those handrails which raise false hopes in the ingenuous minds of readers whose rational intelligences are all too insusceptible of realizing the enormities of which highbrows of my type are capable even in Scotland. I would suggest, on the other hand, if I may, that they should avoid subtleties and simply persist in the pretense that my synthetic Scots presents insuperable difficulties to understanding, while continuing to espouse with all the impressiveness at their command the counter-claims of sensible poetry. The whole thing must, of course, be pronounced more boreally. HMD. A Drunk Man Looks at the Thistle. I am na fu sae muckle as tired dia dune. It's gutty and hard work coping gless for gless wi crivy and gilson kuhar and the like, and I'm no juist as bald as ins I wes. The elbuck fankles in the co-orso time, the shekels no sae supple, and the thrapple grows deep and doer, nay langer up and down gleg as a squirrel spulls the Adam's apple. For b, the stuffies know the real McKay. The sun sell ins, as soona as ye began it, riz in your vera sol, but what keeks in Noo is in truth the vilest saxpenny planet. And as the worths gain down the cost has risen. Yin canna thou the cockles o yins hurt wiot ha and called feet Noo, jaloux in what the wife'll say, I dinna blame her for tea. It's Robin Peter to be Paul at least. And that Scotch aboot it is the name, like a thing else aid Scottish nowadays a destitute o spirit Jewess the same. To prove my Saul is Scots I mon begin wi what still deemed Scots and the folk expect, and spire up sign by visible degrees to hikes whereof the fulls ha never wrecked. But ins I get them there I'll wummel them and souse the craters in the nether deeps, for it's nae choice, and ony man sud wish to dree the goats weird day as wheels the sheeps. Heifetz in Tartan, and Sir Harry Lauder. Wars Isadora Duncan Danson Noah. Is Mary Garden in Chicago still and Duncan Grant in Paris and me fou? Sic transit Gloria Scotia the flu erso the forest are wade awa. Ablin bird's nest is Ablin's biggin in the thistle though. And better blin if ts brood is like the rest. You canna gang to a burn supper even wiot some wizen scrunt o a knock ni chini turns rune to say, him haggis velly good. And 10 to 1 the piper is a cockney. No 1 in 50 kens a word Burns wrote but misapplied is a body's property, and gin there was his like alive the day they'd be the last a ken in hon to gie cross London Scotties wi their bra shirt fronts and their fancy freens, rejoicin' that simila gatherings in Timbuktu, Baghdad, and hell, nay dut our voicin' Burns sentiments o universal love, in pidgin English or in wildfowl Scots, and toastin' on a was not to them but an excuse for faith and genius wi their thoughts. A they've to say was aften said afore a lad was born in Kyle to blaw a boot. What unco fate max him the dumpin' grun for the sloppy rubbish they jaw oot. Mayor nonsense has been uttered in his name than in Oni's barren liberty and Christ. If this keeps spreadin' as the drink declines, sign turns to tea, weighs me for the zeitgeist. Rabbi, what st thou word here the world hath need, and Scotland mayor sae, o the likes o thee. The whiskey that ins moved your liars become a laxative for a loquacity. O gin they'd steg their guts and haud it their wisht I'd thole it, for a man's a man, I can, but though the feck ha plenty o the that, they're knocked but zoologically men. I'm haverin, Rabbi, but ye underston it gets my dander up to see your star a boggle in Babel, banged like a saxpence twixt Burbank's Baedeker and Blystein cigar. There's none a sae ignorant but think they can expatiate on you, if on nay ither. The sumps ha ta en you at your word, and, fegs. The fogiest o them claims to be a brither. Sign here's the change the star o Rabbi Burns. SMA change, twinkle, twinkle. The memory slips as G.K. Chesterton heaves up to GIE the immortal memory in a huge eclipse, or somebody else as famous if less fat. You left the like in Embro in a scunner to booze wi thieveless cronies sick as me. ISE warrant you'd shy clear o' the 100-odd Burns clubs tay, or 99 o' them, and hauded your birthday in a different kip war your name isna ta en in vain as Christ jidda Jerusalem's Pharisees the slip, Christ wad ha ben chief rabbi jin he'd like wi publicans and sinners to forgether, but, losh. The publicans no are Pharisees, and I'm no share o mayas the sinners either. But that's aside the point. I've got fair one ert. It's no that I'm sae foo as Jewist diad dune, and dinna ken as muckles war I am or who I've come to sprawl here neth the mune that's it. It isna me that's fu edda, but the fu mune, the doit jade, that's led me for egally, or magrified the world. For it I ken I'm safe in my en bed. Jean. Jean. Jin she's no here it's no our bed, or else I'm dreamin' deep and canna waken, but it's a fell queer dream if this is no a real hillside and the things thistles and bracken. It's hard work hot attend by a thucht worth ha en and harder speakin' tea, and no for ilka man, mayest thucks like whiskey a thousand under proof, and a sair price is pittin' on tea even then. As Kirk's wi Christianity ha e dune, Burns Club's wi Burns wi a thing it's the same, the core o oct is only for the few, scorned by the mony, thrang wits empty name. And the names in history mean naught to mayest folk but ideas o their en, the vera opposite o anything the deed ud on gin they cam back again. A greater Christ, a greater Burns, may come. The mayest they'll day is to gie bigger pegs to folly and conceit to hank their rubbish on. They'll change folks talk but know their natures, fegs. I mon feed fray the common trough and a war the lees o hope are jumbled up, while centuries like pigs are slorpin' our tea Saul my we or be cryin', let pass this cup. In wi your gruntle then, pure ween in Saul, lap up the uxamatal wi the lave, what gin it's your and vomit that you swill and fray life's gondin and unfittemed grave. I dud I'm gillies mixed, like life itself, but I was never on a that thuck to pit an ocean in a muchkin. As the hails mayer than the paired sai than reason yet. I dinna haud at the world's end in my hide as mayest folk think they day, nor filter truth in fishy gills through which its tides may pour for ony animalculi forsooth. I lotch to see my crazy little brain and ither folks tak en itsel seriously, and in a sudden low o fun my soul blinks doesn't as the owl I can tee to be. I'll ha e nay halfway who's, but I be war extremes meet it's the only way I can to dodge the cursed conceit o Bainrick that damns the vast majority o men. I'll bury nay hide like an ostrich's, nor yet believe my een and naething else. My senses may advise me, but I'll be mijal nay mater what they tells. I ha e nay dut some foreign philosopher has ricked a system oot to justify this, but I'm a Scot wha blindly follows auld Scottish instincts, and I winna try. For I've nae faith in ocht I can explain, and stert war the philosophers leave content to glimpse its loops I dinna ettle to land the sea serpent's cell wi ony gaff. Like stond in water in a pocket o impervious clay I pray I'll never be, cut af and self-sufficient, but let riange hikes o the lift and ben mayest deeps o sea. Water. Water. There was our muckle ot in yonder whiskey, sae I'm in deep water, and gin I could woon hame I'd be in head, for even Jean mon natter, natter, natter. And in the tune that I belang te what though ts Montrose or Nazareth, helplessly the folk continue to lead their living death. One at Darnan hings abun the haufe wheat and wild and eisen in air. Spring's spirit wi its waysome rules are the drucken stramash there. And hike abun the venel's pokiness, war the white weshed cottons lie, the ensign blinters in the mochiness, and lud and shrill the bare knees cry. The hoflins yont the bergbuns gang ilkenicht, and the same, their bonnets cocked, their bluid that stounds is playin' at a fine auld game. And on the locken there, hof hurt we screams and creakin' or locks soon, and in the lift, hike, hof averted, the mune looks our the yerdly rune. And ilka evenin', derf, and serious, Jean Edels knocked o this, pure lass, in liquor, raw yet still mysterious, ae friends I mirrored in my glass. Ahint the sheenan kunter gruff thrang barman ding the tumblers down in vino veritas cry rough and redeemed fulls that in it droon. But ilka evenin' fey and framed, is it a dream nay waknan proves. As to a Tristan place undreamed, a silken leddy darkly moves. Slow gangs she by the drunken ains, and lamely by the winnock sits, fray our robes, Atour the sunken ains, a rookie dwoman perfume flits. Her gleam silks, the taper her ringed fingers, and her feathers move dimly like a dream win, while endless faith about them gathers. I seek, in this captivity, to pierce the veils that darkland fossy white clint sliden to the sea, and hear the horns o' elfland blaw. I hae dark secrets turns and twists, a sun is gin to me to haud it, the whiskey in my bluid insists, and spears my ben mayest history, lad. An hour my brain the flitterin' o' the dim feathers gangs ins mayor, and, fathomless, the dark blue glitterin' o' twain in the ocean there. My soul stores up this wealth unspent, the key is safe and none's but mine. You're richt, all drunk impenitent, I cannot tay the truths in wine. The munilic's like a looking glass, the thistle's like mijel, but war yevi gain, my bonny lass. Is mayor than I can tell. Were you a vision o' mijel, transmuted by the mellow liquor? Neast time I glisk you in a glass, ise warrant I'll mak sicker. A man's a clean contrary sick turn this way in o' its side, and, fegs, I feel like Dr. Jekyll tack and guid tent o' Mr. Hyde. Gully thistle heek you canna daunton me wi your shaggy mean, I'm sair heek needin' a shave, that's plainly to be seen. But what aboot it heek aboot it? Mony a man's been that afore. It's no a fact that in his lugs a wound like this need roar. I ha forkent yet. Oh I ha forkent. The years forecast your face afore they went. A licht I canna thole is in the lift. I bide in silence your slow comin' pace. The ends o' space are bricked, at last o' swift. While terror clings to me an unkent face. Ill faith stirs in me as she comes at last, the features lang forkent, are unforecast. Oh it gangs hard wi me, I am furs pent. Dead dreams hae beaten me and a face unkent and generations that I thocht unborn hail the strange goddess frame I hurts her torn. Or dost thou mak a thistle o' me, woman? But for thee I were as happy as the munilict, with it care, but thocht o' thee o' thy contempt and ire turns half the world into the yucky thistle there, feedin' on the munilict and transformin' it to this one restfu growth that winna let me be. The munilict is the freedom that I'd hae but for this cursed conscience thou hast set in me. It is morality, the knowledge o' guid and ill, fear, shame, pity, like a wool and wileyard growth, that kills a else wi in its reach and craves nae less at last than a the world to gie its cuth. The need to work, the need to think, the need to be, and a thing that twists life into a certain shape and interferes wi perfect liberty, these feed this Frankenstein that nae man can escape. For ilka thing a man can be or think or day I leaves a million mayor unbeen, unthinked, undoen, till his pure warp performance is, to a that micht ha been, a thistle to the mune. It is mortality itself the mortal coil, mock and perfection, man afore the throne o' God. He yet has bigged himsel, man torn in twa and glorious in the lift and grisly on the sod. There's nocht sae sober as a man blind drunk. I mon hae got an unco belly foot to jaw like this, and yet what I am sayin' is a the apter, ablins, to be true. This munilic's fell like whiskey no oict. Am I a thingam maybe that is kept preserved in spirits in a muckle bottle lang centuries efter sin wi gene I slept? Mounted on a hillside, wi the thistles and bracken for verisimilitude, like a stuffed bird on metal like a branch, or a seal on a stump o' rock like wood? Or am I just a figure in a scene o' Scottish life AD 1925? The hale thing kelters like a theatre clave till I micht fancy that I was alive. I dinna ken and nae man ever can. I micht be in my en bed efter a. The hale damned thing's a dream for ocht we ken, the world and life and death, heaven, hell and a. We maun just tak things as we find them then, and mak a kirk or mill o' them as we can, and yet I feel this muckle thistle ston in atween me and the mune as pairt o' a plan. It isna there nor me by accident. We're brocht thegither for a certain reason, ev and gin it's naething mair than juist to gie my jaded soul a necessary free zone. I never saw afore a thistle quite sae intimately, or at siccan hour. There's something in the fickle lick that gies a different life to tea and an unco poor. Three rooty on gressless peaks, wore its erect and jaggy leaves, austerely called and dumb, haught it the slow scaly serpent in respect, the Gothic thistle, wore the insects humsuns for f, lifts abune the rock it scorns its rigid virtue for the heavens to see. The towering boulders gared it, and the bee max honey frae the roses on its thorns. But that's a Belgian refugee, of course. This Freudian complex has somehow slunken frae Scotland's soul the Scots a bully whilst its Terran alias is betrunken. And the country ruin a boot it no lies clapped and shrunken sign like somebody wha has lang o' 7 devils been possessed, then when he turns a corner tines them or like a body that has tint its soul. Perched like a monkey on its heedless kist, or like a sea that peaceful faws again when frae its deeps an octopus is fished. I canna feel it has today wi me mair than a composite diagram o' cross-sections o' my forebears' organs and mine ud bring a kind o' friendly glow. And yet like bindweed through my clay it's run, and my folks it's queer to see tea unroll. My an soul looks me in the face, as 'twere, and mair than my an soul my nation's soul. And Saul a Belgian pit it into words and sing a sang to tea sign, and no a Scot. Ours is a wilder thistle, and Rama ekers canna bear aft the gree avant the thocht. To meddle wi the thistle and to pluck the figs frae tea is my métier, I think. A walk, my muse, and gin you're in pure fettle, I can blame it on th inferior drink. T.S. Eliot it's a Scottish name afore he wrote the wasteland sud ha he come to Scotland here. He wad ha he written a better poem sign like this, by gum. Type o the Wissenschaftsfeindlichkeit, Begriffsmudigkeit that has gar t men try morphologies der Welt geskikt, and mad expressionismus sign in art. For a shameless thing, for ilka vileness able, it is dead grey as dust, the dust o a man. I perish o a nearness I canna win awa frae, its deadly coils aboot my beak are thrawn. A shaggy pulp, imbrassen me and stingin, and as a serpent called agin my herd. Its scales are poisoned shafts that jag me to the quick and war than them's my scunners fearfu smurred. Oh that its prickles were a knife indeed, but it is thowless, flabby, douf, and numb. Sae sluggishly it drains my benmayest life a doesn't dragon, dreadfu, deaf, and dumb. In mum obscurity it twines its obstinate rings and hings caressingly, its purpose whole, and this dead thing, whale white obscenity, this horror that I writhe in is my soul. Is it the munilict or a leprosy that spreads aboot me, and a thistle or my an skeleton through was bare banes of fiendish wounds begood to whistle? The devil's laughter has a hwll like this. My face has flown open like a lid and gibberin on the hillside there is a humanity sae lang has hid. My harns are seaweed when the tide is in they swall like bledhers and in comfort float, but when the tide is oot they lie like gield and runkled auld bluid vessels in a knot. The munilict ebbs and flows and wit my thocht, no o move in mellow and no o lord and rough. I ken what I am like in life and death, but life and death for nae man are enough. And oh, to think that there are members o' St. Andrew's societies sleepin' soon, what to the papers wrote afore they bedded on regimental buttons or buckled shoon, or use o England war the U.Ks meant, or this or that anent the blue salder, recruitin', pedigrees, and good kens what, filled wi a proper patriotic fire. Wad I were them they've chosen a better paired, the Cuthie craters, than the Anna I've ta'en, tie oven wi this root-hewn Scottish soul, a fur better paired except for men. Nay tut there sober, as a Scot ne'er was, each tethered to a punctual snore and missus, whilst I, pure fuel, our continents unkent and wine dark oceans wander like Ulysses. 5. The Mune sits on my bed the night unsocked, and makes my soul obedient to her will, and in the dumb deed, still as dreams are still, her pupils narrow to brick thrides that thrill about the sensuous windins o' her thought. But ilka windin has its counterpart the opposite thut which it couldna be in some wild kink or queer perversity o' this great thistle, green wi jealousy, that branges twixt the munelict and my herd. Plant, what are you then? Your leaves mind me o' the pipe's lud drone and a your purple tops are the pearly whirly notes that gang staggerin' o'er them as they groan. Or your leaves are alligators that ha-e gobbled our a hail company o' he land sodgers, and left naethin but the Tories o' their Balmoral bonnets to tell the tale. Or a muckle bellows blawin' wi the spurks a whizzin' oot, or green tides sweeshin' neth hike skeech stars, or centuries fleein' down a water chute. Grinning gargoyle by a saint, Mephistopheles in heaven, skeleton at a tea meetin', missin' link or creakin' hinge atween the dead and livin'. I kent a terrier in a shamfectance, wallooped the dyke and landed on a thistle. He'd naething on Ava aneth his kilt. Schunberg has nae notation for his whistle. Gin you're surprised a village drunk foreign references sud fool in, you ha-ena the respect usud for orguid Scottish scoolin. For we've the mayest unlikely folk I braggin o' or lear, and, though I'm drunk, for Scotland's sake I tack my barrow steel here. Yet Europe's faur anuka for me, pure fuel, when bairns ken mayor oth ither world than I owe this but that's no here nor there. Guid sakes, I'm in a dreadful state. I'll ha-e nae inklin soona gin I'm the drinker or the drink, the thistle or the mune. I'm gillies feared I couldna tell gin I sud lay me doon the difference betwixt the world and my enhidga en rune. Drums in the wallagate, pipes in the air, come and hear the cryin' o' the fair. As it used to be, when I was alone on common ride in day in the muckle tune. The bearer twirls the bannock and sought heron, the croon o' roses through the lift is furrin, the otched fit thistle wallops on high, in heather besoms o' the hills gang by. But no it's o' the fish o' the sea nailed on the rund o' the earth to me. Beauty and love that are bobbin' there, sign the breening growth that alane I bear, and Scotland followin' on a hint for threepenny bits spleet new frae the mint. Drums in the wallagate, pipes in the air, the wallopin' thistle is ill to bear. But I'll dance the nick wi the stars o' heaven in the market place as shares I'm livin'. Easy to carry roses or heron, and the lave may will their threepenny bits earn. Devil the star. It's Jean I'll ha-e again as she was on her weddin' day. Nerves in stouns o' delight, muscles in pride o' power, bluid as wi roses dyed life's top and pinnacles hour, the thistle yet unite man and the infinite. Swippert and swith wi vir in the house o' man's herd forever its muckle roots stir like a leviathan astirred, till ts coils like a thistle's leaf sweep space wi levin sheafs. Frae lacious deeps o' the ocean it rises in flight upon flight, and yont its uttermost motion can still set roses alight, as else unreachable height falls under its triumphant sight. Here is the root that feeds the shank wi the blind and wings dwine and abunihate to gliads like stars in their keithin rings, and blooms in sunrise and sunset in o'er eternities yet. Lay haudit o' my herd and feel fountains o' it look in the starns or see the universe real setga and by my ident harns, or test the strength o' my spald the wecht o' a thing to haud. The house o' man's herd are bare, the dragons left them for good, there's nocht but naethingness there, the whole war the thistle stood, that rootless and radiant flies a phoenix in paradise. Mazoke and Sada turned into on a havoc ha-e made o' my ae brain. Will, gin it's Sada let it be said they've made me mad that'll da instead. But it's no instead in Scots, but instead. The life they've led in my pure hide. but ins I've seen in the thistle here that they ben ilablins wound clear. Thistleless fuel, you'll ha e knocked left but the whole fray which life's struggle is reft. Reason sares nay end but pleasure, truth's no an end but a means to a wider knowledge o' life and a keener interest in t. We wat our poets and artists move frae inklin to inklin, and live for o'er antrin lichtnins in the hangels atween whiles, like as the feck o' mankind whence we bringe in unkennable shapes crock cats up, hair kime to the lift, and no to cree legs wi. We're oetward bund frae Scotland. Guid by, fare ye weel, guid by, fare ye weel. A the Scots that ever were gang oetward in a creel. We're oetward bund frae Scotland. Guid by, fare ye weel, guid by, fare ye weel. The cross tap is a monkey tree that none o' us can spiel. We've never seen the captain, but the first mate is a Jew. We've shipped aboard eternity. Adieu, kind friends, adieu. In the creel or on the gel o'er Kutrabat and Ganian. What gin ither see or hear naething but a gowk storm. Gin you stop the galliard to teach them who to dance, there comes in corb Audie and turns their gammons up. You vegetable cat's melody. Your concert meowlant is a triumph o' discord surely, and suits my fancy fairly. I'm sure that Scott agree he can a VWI this. Said my body to my mind, I've been startled whiles to find, when Jean has been in bed wi me, a kind o' Christianity. To my body said my mind, but your ben mayest thocht you'll find was bother what I think I feel. Jean kens the set o' my bluid hour wheel, and lotches to see me in the creel o' my courage bag confined. I wish I kent the physical basis o' life's seaman airs and graces. It's queer the thochts a kiddled cull can los or splargin glitten ul. Man's spreet is wi his ingongs twined in ways that he can ne'er unwind. A woman whiles a ba wa gies that clean abos him gin he sees. Or wi a movement o' a leg shows his mind is juist agag. Ise warrant Jean ud no be lang in findin whence this thistle sprang. Mebbe it's juist because I'm no bet wi her that gars it grow. A Leuven woman is a lick six that shows a man his waifu plicht, bleezin steady on ilka bane, wrigglin sinan and twinen vain, or flareen quick and gain again, and the mayor scunnersome the sick the mayor for love and licked he's fain till clear and chitterin and nesh move a the miseries o' his flesh. Alas, wha seest me as I door hardly see, I marvel that your bonny een are as they hadna seen. Through o' my self-respect they see the truth abject. Gin you could pierce their blind and licht you'd see a fouler sicht. O was the bride that care rise the bunch o' thistles blinterin white. Her cuckold bridegroom little drades what he sail can this nicht. For closer than Goodman can come and closer to our than hersel, wha didna need her maidenhide has wrecked his purpose fell. O was been here afore me, lass, and who did he get in? A man that deed or I was born this evil thing has din. And left, as it were on a corpse, your maidenhide to me? Nay lass, Goodman, sin time began head ony mayor to gie. But I can gie ye kindness, lad, and a pair o' willing hands, and you saw ha-e my breasts like stars, my limbs like willow wands, and on my lips yell heed nay mayor, and in my hair forget, the seed o' the men that in my virgin womb ha-e met. Millions o' women bring forth in pain millions o' bairns that are no worth ha-en. Will ever a woman be big again wi's muckles a Christ? Yuck, there's nae sayin'. Gin that's the best that you ha-e comin', fegs but I'm sorry for you, woman. Yet ae thing's certain your faith is great. Whatever happens, you'll no be blade. Mary lay in Jizan as it were clay though gowd, but it's in our duds ilka ither bairn times road. Christ had never tood hick, Christ was never seek, but man's a fikey bairn wi belly thraw, ripples, and worm I the cheek. Day what ye will ye canna parry this skeleton at the feast that through the starry maze o' the world's intoxicate in soiree clafts ye, as micht at an affronty queen a bastard ween. Prod mune, ye needna thring your shouter there, and at your pure get like a snowstorm stare, it's yours there's nae denyin' tea and I'm sure you'd no enjoy the evenin' much the less gin you'd but openly confess. Dod. It's an eaten and a spewed like thing, fell like a little body's changeling, and it's nae credit to ye that usud bring the like to life yet, gin a mithers love, he, wakens who te micht improve. Or is this heaven, this yalla licht, and I the afterins o' the earth, or six in this one chancy time may will fin sudden birth. The roots that wi the worms compete hoff publish me upon the air. The struggle that divides me still is seen fu plainly there. The thistle's shank scarce holds the grun, my grave'll spare nae mair I dood. The cracks fu wide, the shanks fu strang, that I was is oot. My knots o' nerves that struggled sair are will reflected in the herb, my crooked instincts were like this, as sterile and acerb. My self-tormented spirit took the shape repeated in the thistle, sma beauty jooked my rawny banes and maze o' gristle. I seek nae pity, paraclete, and, fegs, I think the joke is rich pairt soul, pairt skeletons come up, they kentna which was which. Thou date in which my life sae vain a thing can seem, frae whatna source do ye borrow your devastating gleam? Nay doot that hidden sun ud look fu way Anna, gin I could see it in the lick that frae the earth you draw. Shudder and thistle, gier, gier. A body's gin into the facts o' life, the impossible truth'll triumph at last, and mock your strife. Your sallow leaves can never thraw, wi their ori shaken, ae doot into the hurt o' life that it may be mistaken. O Scotland is the barren fig. Up, carles, up and round it jig. Auld Moses took a dry stick and instantly it flew in his hand. Pu Scotland up, and wha can say it winna bud and blossom te? A miracle's our only chance. Up, carles, up and let us dance. Pure burns, wasp bouquet like a shot kale blaws will this rouch sick no gie the orchid's pause. The gardens o' the muses may be bra, but none like ours can bringe and eat Anna. And our the Kyle wa Dunbar they flung, and their countrymen that ha sung for ither than plumins lugs or to enrichen plots on Parnassus set apart for kitchen. Plumin and plumins wives shades o' the mans may will be at the height o' sic a dance, as through the Polish Tejas o' Europe leads the rout o' bagpipes, haggis, and sheep's hides. The Vandal Scot. Frae brank some steadly barrow I struggle yet to free a winsome marrow, to show what Scotland micht hae had instead o' this preposterous Presbyterian breed. Jinglisks of folk are tired o' Hengler, and still need breed and circuses, there's Spengler, or Jinya sud need mair than Anna to teach ye, then learn frae Dostoyevsky and frae Nietzsche. And let the lesson be to be yourselves, ye needna fash gin it's to be ocht else. To be yourselves and to mak that worth bane. Nay harder job to mortals has been gin. To save your souls fu moni o ye are fain, but de il a dizen to mak it worth the dean. I widna gie 5 minutes wi Dunbar for a the millions o ye as ye are. I micht hae been contenti wi the rose gin I'd had ony reason to suppose that what the English day can mak guid for what Scots dinna and first and foremost should. I micht hae been contenti gin the feck o' my en folk had grovelled wi less respect, but their obsequious devotion made it for me a criminal emotion. I micht hae been contenti ere I saw that there were fields on which it couldna draw, while strang roots ran under tea, and thried ot drew frae Scotland that it could need, and left the mayest o' Scotland fallow, save for the patch on which the kale blades wallow, and saw who ither country's genius drew elements like mine that in a rose ne'er grew. Gin the thride hodaten us to the rose were snapped, there's no ae pedal ot that ud be clapped. A Scotland gies gangs but to jags or stock, the bloom is English and ud ken nae lack. O drumly clud o crudity and cant, obliteratin as the Easter rook that rose up frae the house and drones the hikes, and turns the country to a faceless spook. Like blurry shapes o landmarks in the har the bonny idiosyncratic place names loom, clues to the vive and makeless life that's lain happed for centuries in an alien gloom. Anuka. For no I'm in the mood, Scotland, responsive to my thoughts, licks mile by mile, as my nerves, frae Maidenhead to John O'Groats. What are prophets and priests and kings, what's och to the people o Scotland? Speak and crivial gome at you, Gilson Cuhar jalos your dotlin. And Edinburgh and Glasgow are like plumen in a pub. They want to hear ona ething but their and foul hubbub. The fools are richt, and extra thocht is neither here nor there. Our lives may differ as they like the self same fate we share. And whiles I wish I'd nae mair sense than Crivy and Gilson Cuhar, and envy their rude health and curse my gnawing canker. Guid sakes, ye dinna need to pass ony exam. To date canna tell a common fleck frae a performin flea. It sets you will to slaver to let sick giddies fa the munes the muckle white whale I seek in vain to kaya. The earth's my mastless salmon, the thistle my ruined sail. Lee go as you maun in the end, and droon in your plum o ale. Clear Kelty af and fill again with it corne bane cry it, the drinks I best that follows a drink. Clear Kelty af and try it. Bt whiskey gill or penny weep, or ony ither lotion, we bud to ha a thimbleful first, and sign will tomb an ocean. To Luna at the cradle and coffin to soften her hurt if out can soften auld bag o tricks, ye needna come and think to stap me in your womb. You needna fash to racks and strain. Carline, I'll no be born again in ony brat you can produce. Carline, giero what's the use? You pay nae heed but plop me in, sign shove me oot, and winna be din, hour, the same auld trick, crater with it climateric. No o cutty sarks tint that Anna, and dances in her skin ha. Ha. I canna ride awu like Tam, but en mon by juist war I am. I canna ride and gin I could, I'd sooner be sorry I heedna stood, for less than a there is to see ll never be our muckle for me. Cutty, gin you've mair to strip, af wit, lass and let it rip. Ilka pleasure I can ha ends like a dram ta en yesterday. And though to ha it I am lorn what better ud I be the morn. My belly on the gant rees there, the spigot frame my college, and wow but how the fizzin yill in spilth increased the ulage. I was an anxious barrel, lad, when first they tapped my bung. They whistled me up, yet through the lift my frets like rainbows swung. Way sucks, a pride for ony bar, the boast o barleyhood, like Noah's ark abun the va'im mon float, a gondin cued, for I was thrawn fu cock our suna, and a single jaw I made the pub a blind in swelth, and how'd the world awa. What forest worn to the back hoffs this, what Eden brock dune to a bean swap? The thistles to earth as the man in the munes to the mune, pure chap. The hail world's barkin and fleein, and this is its echo and iker, a soon that arrears in my lug heron banian back to its maker, a svav like a flaw in a jewel or nadriv 7 jallo used in a man, or creation unbigot again to the drock wi which it began. Abertajo this tomb haux namos. It monks ans ill to lay haudit o, as gin a man edled to ride on the shouters o his end shadow. I canna bealty, though steeken an tithers monkey wi mune beam for noal in t, for there's nae sta tree and the brutes awa wi me kinkin like foodry a hint. Sae eternity'll buff nor sty for time, and shies at a touch, man, yet I in a belth o thocht comes a list like the fleein Dutchman. As the worms'll breed in my corpse until it's like a rice puddin', the thistle has made an eel arc o' the lift war elvers like skirla in the pan sizzle, like a thunder plump on the sunlicht, or the slouch o' daith on my dreams, or as to a fair forfolken man a breed in wife's beddiness seems, Saragossa see, Saint Vitus dance, a cafard in a brain's despite, or lunacy that thinks else is loony and is doodless richt. Gin my thoughts that circle like hobby horses udna loosen to nightmares I'd sleep, for knocked but a chowd cores left war Jerusalem lay like apples in a heap. It's a queer thing to trist wi a woman when the boss o' her body's gain, and her banes in the wound as she comes dirl like a raff o' rain. It's a queer thing to trist wi a woman when her gayest fray a bunny hate keeks, and you see in the licht ot that a you ha ors the glikes. What forest worn to the backhof's this, what Eden brock dune to a bean swap? A the furlies o natur spring fray the earth, and into tea again mon drap. Animals, vegetables, what are they but as thucks that a man has ha-en? And earth sol be like a tomb skull sign. Warlitz thucks be then. The munilict is my knowledge o mijel the thistle in the munilict scene, and hoff my shape has fund itsel in thee and hoff my knowledge in your Pearsonine. E'en as the munilict borrowed fray the sun I ha my knowledge o mijel fray thee, and much that none but thee can mac clear, save my licks fray the source, is dark to me. Your acid tongue, vive lochter, and hoxine, and bluid that drops like hail to quicken me, can turn the midday black or midnight bricht, los me fray licht or eke fray darkness free. Bite into me forever mayor and lift me clear o chaos in a great relief till, like this thistle in the munilict growin', I brack in roses hour a hedge o grief. I am like Burns, and ony wench can sare me for a time. Licks in them in some a sun, in some the merest scame. I'm no like Burns, and will I can, though ony wench can sare, it's no through mony but through yin that ony man wounds fur. I wedded thee fray faw's love, lass, to free thee and to free mijel, but man and woman tied for life true can be and truth can tell. Pit ony couple in a knot they can alos and needna try, and mayor o love at last they'll can if oct, then joy'll alane descry. For them as for the beasts, my wife, a's for fray dune when pleasure's hour, and countless difficulties gar ilk hurt discover its power. I dinna say that bairns alane are true love's task a sarer task is ablins to create oursels as we can be it's that I ask. Create oursels, sign bairns, sign race. SAE on the cod ICT in UWI Maiden Kirk to John O. Groats the bosom that you draw me to. And nay Scott WI a woman lies, but I am he and can as twere a stage I've passed as he mon past he, gin he grows up, his way wi her. A thing wi which a man can intramits a woman, and can, and sud, become as intimate and human. And Jean's nay mayor my wife than whiskey is at times, or munilict or a thistle or kittle thucks or rhymes. He's no a man ava, and lacks a proper pride, gin less than a the world can sare him for a bride. Use, then, my lust for whiskey and for thee, your function but to be and let me be and see and let me see. If in a lesser licht I grope my way, or use tea for ends that need your different ray whelm tea in superior day. Then I increase and ne'er withdraw your licht. Gin it shows either O's in hideous plicht, what gain to turn tea to nict. Whiskey max heaven or hell and whiles mel's baith, disease is but the privy torch o' death, but sex reveals life, faith. I need them and mon be I at strife. Death and iont are knocked but parts o' life. Then be life's licht, my wife. Love often wounds free in lust to be strangled, or love, O lust free, in laws sairely tangled. And it's ill to tell whether law or lust is to blame when love's choke it up it comes a to the same. In this sorry growth what no beauty is tint that freed ot micht find a war fate than is in tea. Yank oot your arabows, my herd. God jid man's speech and speech created thought, he jid man's speech but to the Scots jid nocht baron this clydic that they've never brocht to onything but sic a bloody o as some bairn's copybook micht show, a spook o soon that fray the unkent grave in which our nation lies loops up to wave sic leprous juns as tatties have that cellar bund send spindles gropin towards ony hole that's open, like way some fingers in the dark that think they still may widen the ona and only chink that eer. Has gin mankind a blink o hope though even in that pure licht they sud ha seen their hopeless plicht. This pure relation o my toplin mood, this country cousin, streak o churl bluid, this hopeless erg twixt a weaken and should, this past that like a start sting I feel, this arrow in Achilles' heel. Yank oot your arabows, my herd. Mebbe we're in a vicious circle cast, mebbe there's limits we can ne'er get past, mebbe we're sent rices that at the last are flung aside, and know the pillars and props o heaven foray as in our hopes. Our growth at least nay steady progress shows, genius in mankind like an antrin rose abun a youngly waste o effort grows, but to man's purpose it macks little odds, and seems irrelevant to God's. Anuka. Then here you are. Here's the hail story. Life's con-ached shapes tour up in croons o glory, perpetuatin', nathless, in their gory color the endless sacrifice and pain that to their makins gain. The roses like the saints in heaven trade triumphant hour the agonies o their breed, and wag fumonia celestial hide abun the thordarils o leaf and prick in which they can the feck mon stick. Yank oot your arabows, my herd. A mongrel growth, jumble o disproportions, whirlin' in its incredible contortions, or wad be client that an auld whore shuns, warden her wizened orange o a bosom fray import unities sae gruesome, or new diversion o the hormones mayer fond o procreation than the Mormons, and fetch in like a devastating storm onsa the uncouth dilemmas o our nature objectified in vegetable matter. Yank oot your arabows, my herd. And heed nay mayer the foolish cries that beg you slice nay mayer to af or pu to leg, you skied in duffer that gars a body fleg, what though you ding the hail world ooto joint wi a skier to cover point. Yank oot your arabows, my herd. There was a danger and its will ict had brocht ye like malarme to defeat mon dud, amas denut uncien esikiv en maint ramo subtil, qui, demer lavreus boimim, prive, hellas, que bien sol jem offreus pour triumph el ephod ideal de roses. 8 Yank oot your arabows, my herd. I love to muse upon the skill that gangs to mak the simplest thing that earth displays, the ident life that ilka atom thrangs, and uses it in the appointee ways, and the endless brain that nocht escapes that myriad moves them to inimitable shapes. Nor to their customed form nor ony ither new to creation, by man's cleverest mind, a need for particles first brocht thagither, could they wi timeless labor be combined. There's nocht that science yet begood to see in half its deemless detail or its destiny. Or in gie answers based on paired seen facts that beg a questions, to ebb mind's content, but who a feature or the neast attracts, wi millions mayer unseen, wakens what's meant by human brains and to what ends may tell for naething seen or kent that's near a thing itself. Let Wacy vaunts his knowledge then and sign sets up a god and kens his purpose te tell me what's gart a strain o mater twine in sic an extraordinary way, and what God's purpose wi the thistle is lablins ken what he and his God's worth by this. I've watched it lang and hard until I ha a certain symp thy wi its ara ways and pride in its success, as will I may, in growin exactly as its instinct says, save in sae fur as thwarts o weather or grun or man or ither foes ha ets aims perchance fordone. But I can form nae notion o the spirit that gars it tack the difficult shape it does, nor judge the merit yet or the demerit o this detail or that sae fur as it goes to advance the cause that jid it sic a guise as mon ha pleased its maker wi a gubby surprise. The craft that hit upon the Richland stalk, wits gausti leafs and a its dachi jags, and speared its sign in seely fleurs to brack like sudden lochter our its fusum rags jux me, sardonic lover, in the routh o contractaries that jostle in this dumfundrin growth. What strength tud need to pit its roses oot, or double them in number or in size, he canna tell wha canna plumb the root, and learn what scar its present state arise, and what the limits are that ha been put to change in thistles, and why and what a change ud boot. I saw a rose come lupin oot 9 fray a camsteri plant. O wad ha thocht yon pure stock had sick an inhabitant? For centuries it ran to waste, wi pin hide flowers at times. Ots hidden hurt o beauty they were but the merest skims. Yet while it ran to wood and thorns, the feckless growth was seekin some air to change its life until in a rose was beacon. Is there nae way in which my life can mair to fluorin come, and bring its waste on shank and jags dune to a minimum? It's hard to struggle as I'm on for scrunts o blooms like mine, while blossom covers ither plants as by an act divine. What hinders me unless I lack some needful discipline? I'll bring my arrow life to beauty or I'm din. Sae ran the thought that hid a hint the thistle's ugsome guise, I'll brack the habit o my life a worthier to devise. My nobler instincts saw nae mair this contraire shape begin. I saw nae mair consent to live a life no fit to be seen. Sae ran the thought that hid a hint the thistle's ugsome guise, till at ins a rose looked out I watched it wi surprise. A rose looked oot and grew, until it was 10 times the size o ony rose the thistle afore had heisty to the skies. And still it grew till the bus was hidden in its flame. I never saw sae bra a fluer as yon thrawn stock became. And still it grew until it seemed the hail braid earth had turned a reed rose that in the lift like a ball o fire burned. The wafu clay was fire in's mayor, as earth had been resumed into God's mind, frae which sae lang to Grugus state 'twas doomed. Sign the rose shriveled suddenly as a balloon is burst, the thistle was a gayest stick, as gin it had been cursed. Was it the ancient vicious sway imposed itself again, or nerve our weak for new emprise that made the effort vain, a coward strain in that lorn growth that ricked the sorry trick? The thistle like a rocket sword and camdoon like the stick. Like grise huckle the roses glint, the leaves like farls hing, as ruined a hopeless sacrifice earth draws its barren ring. The dream o beauty's darnan yet a hint the ugsome shape. Vain dream that in a pin hate here and there can escape. The vices that defeat the dream are in the plant itself, and till they're purged its virtues mon in pain and misery dwell. Let deals rejoice to see the waste, the fond hope brought to noct. The thistle in their een is as a favourite lust their rooked. The orderin o the thistle means nae richten ot to them. Its loss they see a law, its thorns a fuel's fit diadem. And still the idiot nails itself to its end crucifix, while here a rose and there a rose chops oot abun the pricks. Like connoisseurs the deals gang ruined and praise its attitude, till on the cross the silly Christ to fidge fu fains be good. Like connoisseurs the deals gang ruined wi ready platitude. It's no sae dear as vinegar, and every bit as good. The bitter taste is on my tongue, I chowl my chafks, and pray let God forsake me no and no stond connoisseur like te. The language that but sparely flewers and mayest la gangs to weed, the thocht o Christ and Calvary I litten in my hide, and the dour provincial thocht that merks the Scottish breed these are the thistle's characters, to rg there's nae need. Who will my verse embodies the thistle you can read. But will a Scotsman never frae this vile growth be freed? O ilka man alive is like a quart that's squeezed into a pint, a mayest unskittish like a fair. Or like the little maid that showed me into a still smaer room. What use to let a sunrise fade to hae another like tea the morn, or let a generation pass that on a nae better may succeed, or wi a time's machinery keep naething new aneth the sun, or change things ooto kennen that they may be the mayor the same. The thistle in the wound dissolves in lignans as shook foil gies way in sudden splendours, or the flesh at death let slip the infinite soul, and sign it's like a sunrise tint in grey o day, or love and life, that in a cluddy blash o sperm undi the world to big T again, or like a pickled foetus that nae man feels oct in common wi but mict as easily ha been. Or like a corpse a soul set free scunners to think it tenanted and little recks that but for it never mict ha been at a, like love frae lust and God frae man. The wasted seam that dries like sterch and pudus af, that mict ha been a world o men and sign o gods, the grey that haunts the vivest green, the wrang side o the noblest scene we ne'er can wummel to oreen, as twere the hinder parts o God his face I turn the opposite road, ors neth the flewers the drumly clods frae which they come at sickna odds, as a earth's magic frae is spurred, in shame and secrecy, o dirt. Then shack nae mayor in silly life, nor stand impossible as death, incredible as a thing is inside or oot are closely scanned. As mythers aften think the world o bairns that ha e nae end or object, or lovers think their sweethearts made yins yearn wahina wailed the lave, makeless when they are na body, or men o ilka sort and kind are prod o thucks they see a their en, that nameless millions had afore and nameless millions yet ha e, and that were never worth the ha en, or Crevy's latest story or Gilson Cuhar's vows to sign the pledge, or if I thocht mayest whiskey was, or failed to kunt the change I got. Sae wad I begin I rejoiced, or didna ken my place, in the O stranglin rictus, sterile spasm, thou stricture in the groins o licked, thou oetry gangrel frae the wilds o chaos fenced frae Eden yet by the unsplinterable wao moonbeams like a bleeze o swords. Nae chance lunge cuts the Gordian knot, nor saw the belly find relief in was entangled mony plies creation like a stoppage jams, or in whose loins the mapamound runkles in strawns o buobos wore the generations gravel. The sund o water win and free, the sicht o lick that bracks the rook, the thocht o every thwart hour come are in my ears and een and brain, in whom the bluid is spilt in stir, in whom a licht in darkness fails, in whom the mystery o life is to a wretched weed bewrayed. But let my soul increase in me, God dwarf to enter my pure thocht expand to his true size again, and protoplasms look befit the nature o its destiny, and seed and sequence be nae mayor incongruous to Anna Anather, and liquor packed impossibly mac pint pot an eternal well, and art be relevant to life, and poets mayor than dominies yet, and ends nae langer tint in means, nor forests hidden by their trees, nor men be sacrificed alive in funds o fates designed for them, nor mansions o the soul. Stand tomb their owners in their cellars trapped, nor a people's genius be a rumpelfike in heaven's dupe, while Calvinism uses her to breed a minister or twa. A black leaf or a white leaf twirls, a grey leaf flotchters in atween, sae ply my thochts boot the stem o loppert slime frae which they spring. The thistle like a snowstorm drives, or like a flict o swallows lifts, or like a swarm o midges hings, a plague o moths, a starry sky, but's naething but a thistle yet, and still the puzzle stands unsolved. Beauty and ugliness alike, and life and death and God and man, are aspects ot but none can tell the secret that I'd fain find oot o this bricked hive, this sorry weed, the tree that fills the universe, or like a risty heron crines. Gin I was sober I might think it was like something drunk men see. The necromancy in my bluid through the gamut changes me o dwarf and giant, foul and fair, but winna let me be mijal my mither's womb that reigns me still until I take and prick the witch and woman cry wi Christ at last, then what hast thou to do wi me? The tug o war is in me still, the dog hank o the flesh and soul, faither in heaven, what guard ye tack a village slut to mither me, your mongrel o the fire and clay? The trollop and the deity share my writhen form as though I were a picture o' the time they had when licht rejoiced to file itsel and earth upshootered like a star. A drucken hizzy gain to bed wi3 in Anna and Anna in 3. O fain I'd drink until I saw Scotland a furly o delict, and fain bide drunk nor ha et recede into a shriveled thistle sign, as when a spurkland tide rins oot, and leaves a wreath o rubbish there. Will the seas gang dry at last, as dry as I am gettin no, or will they I come back again, sealful as mine east drink to me, or as the sunlicht to the moon, or as the bonny sangs o men, wari but pure craters in themselves, and save when genius makes them drunk, as donnert as their audiences, as dreams that mak a tramp a king, a madman sane to his en mind, or what a Scotsman thinks himsel, though naethin but a thistle kyths. The mayor I drink the thirstier yet, and whiles when I'm aloe wi booze, I'm like God's cell and clad in fire, and ha-e a Pentecost like this. Oh wad that I could I be fou, and no come back as I'm on to naething but a fuel that non aud credit wi sick thucks as thee, a fuel that kens their empty dreams. Yet but for drink and drink's effects, the yeast o God that barms in us, we micht as will no be alive. It maters not what drink is ta-en, the barley brie, ambition, love, or guid or evil workin ins, sae langs we feel like souls set free frae mortal coils and speak in tongues we dinna ken and never wool, and find a merit in oursels, in crivies, and gilson cuhars te, and see the thistle as ocht but that. For what owes ha-e the thistle's poor to see we're worthless and believe te. A thing that ony man can be's a mockery o his soul at last. The mayor it shows te the better, and I'd sooner be a tramp than king, lest in the pride o place and poor I forgot my wasomeness. Sae to debauchery and dirt, and to disease and death I turn, sin otherwise my seaman worth ud block my view o what is what, and blend me to the irony o bane a grocer neth the sun, a lawyer gin justice o purine, a pedant like an ant promoted, a parson buttonholing God, or ony crater o the earth sma bunite to John Smith, High Street, Perth, or sick like vulgar gaff o life sub speciem eternitatis ne void can flag me hoff as much as bane mijel, whatter I am, or, war, bane. Anybody else. The nervous thistles shiverin like a horse's skin aneth a clegg, or northern licks or lusters o a soul that death has fastened on, or mornin efter the nicta for. Shudderin thistle, gier, gier. Grey sand is churnin in my lugs the munilict flits, and gontin there the grave o a mankind's laid bare on hell itsel the drawback rugs. Nay man can ken his hurt until the tide o life uncovers it, and horror struck he sees a pit return in life can never fill. Thou art the facts in ilka ert that bringe into infinity, criss-crossed wi countless ither facts nay man can follow, and o which he is himsel a helpless peart, held in their tangle as he were a stick nest in Yggdrasil. The less man sees the mayor he is content wit, but the mayor he sees the mayor he kens who little o that there is he'll ever see, and who it makes confusion I the war confunded till at last his brain inside his hide is like Ariadne wi an empty pern, or like a Berlin reel fray which a whale has rived the line awa. What better's a for who eat nest than ska's lock scattered are the grun. Oh hard it is for man to ken he's no creation's goal nor yet a benefiter by t at last a means to ends he'll never ken, and as to MacDiar elements the slotch-haired brutes he eats to him or forms o life our sma to cwi which his heedless body swarms, and a man's thocht nay mayor to them than ony musub to a man, his heaven to them the blinterin o a snail trail on their closet wa. For what's an atom o a twig that tacks a billion to an inch to a the routh o shoots that mak the big growth o the earth a boot the michty trunk o space that spreads rammel o lick that ha-e nay end, the trunk wi centuries for rings, comets for fruit, November showers for leaves that in its autumns fa and man at mayest o sick a twig ana o the countless atoms is. My sinens and my veins are but as muckle o a single shoot was fibre I can ne'er unwaft o my wife's flesh and mither's flesh and o the flesh o humankind, and revelled thrums o beasts and plants as gangs to mac twixt birth and death a sliver for a microscope, and o the life o earth to be can never lift fray underneath the shank o which our destinies peart as hikes to stand forenence the trunk stupendous as a windlestree. I'm under nae delusions, fegs. The Huapin sucker at was tip or little point o view appears, a midget kumo continents wi blubs o oceans set, sends up the bride o daith as will as life, and we mon brared another tip ootr us ere we wither and join the scent rice skeleton as coral insects big their reefs. What is the tree? As fur as man's concerned it disna mater gin but a giant thistle tis that spreads eternal mischief there, as I'm inclined to think. Ruthless it sends its solid growth through mayer than he can conceive, and bracks his worlds abread and rives his heavens to tatters on its horns. The nature or the purpose he needna fash to spire, for he is destined to be soon our grown and hidden the parent wood the spread in boughs in darkness hap, and its future life'll be it with them as he's it with his banes. Just as man's skeleton has left its ancient ape-like shape a hint, SAE states mind in turn GIE way to different states, and quickly seem impossible to later men, and man's mind in its final shape, or lang'll seem a monkey's spook, and, struth, to me the vera thocht already spell like that. Yet still the cracklin thorns persist in fitbo match and peepee show, to antic hey a dog fex mayer than Jacob v the angel, and through a cylinder o wombs, a star reflected in a dub, I see as twere my and wild harns the ripple o eve's moni plies. And faith. Yestreen in Cruvies een life rocked at midnight in a tree, and in Gilson Kuhar's glower I saw the taps o waves neth which the world ed rowan like a zeely fish, and whiles I canna look at Jean for fear I'd see the sunlick turn worm-like into the glaur again. A black leaf or a white leaf twirls, my liver's shadow on my soul, and clots o bluid luoot fray stems that back into the jungle rin, or in the waters underneath kelter like seaweed, while I hear abun the thunder o the flood, the voice that ins commanded lick sing Scots Waha'i and Hein Owl like Crivy up a different glen, and leave me like a mixture o a wee Scotch night and Judgment Day, the Bile, the Bible, and the Scotsman, poetry, and pig's infernal thistle, damnation haggis. I've spewed up, and sign return to like TWA dogs. Blin produce wi leaves or hands or flippers ditherin in the lift thou Samson in a world that has nae pillars but your chin in shapes that dung dune, rise in ither airts like windblown reek fray smudrin s. Hulang mon igie afir forms o plants and beasts and men and gods and like a doit atlas bear the steeple o fish, this emus world, or, maniac hide wi snakes for hair, a monade, ape Aphrodite, and scunner the eternal sea? Man needna fash and even know the cells that mac a sliver wim, the thridy knit he's woven wi, ud fain destroy what sicht he has this pure transitory stage, yet though he kens the fragment is little worth he can view, jaloux in its a chia tree weed, he tie off wi his micht and main to keep his sick despite his kind conspirin as their nature is gainst wi better sick than theirs. What gars him strive? He canna tell it may be knocked but cussedness. At best he hopes for little mayer than his suspicions to confirm, to mock the sicht he hains sae will at last wi he sees wi it, yet, thistle or no whatter its end, ablins the force that makes it grow and lets him see a kennen mayer than ither folk and fend his sichtagen their jealous plots a while use the poors it seems to waste, this purpose served, in ither ways, that may be better worth the bane or sae he dreams, sign mocks his dream till life grows sheer awa fray him, and brats o darkness plug his een. It may be knocked but cussedness, but I'm content gin my thocht can day nae mayer than let me see, free fray desire o happiness, the foolish faiths o ither men in breedin, industry, and war, religion, science, or oct else gang smash when I ha e nane mijal, or better gin I share them te, or mind at least a time I did. This is Calvary to bear your cross win you fray the seed, and feel it grow by slow degrees until it rends your flesh appeared, and turn, and see your fellow men in similar case but suffer in less through bane mayer wouldn't fray the sturt. I'm foo o a stick at God. That's what's the mater wi me, Jean has stuck sick a fork in the wa that I row in agony. Mary never let dab. She was a canny woman. She heedna ga in Joseph at a but, wow, this second comin'. Narad bogano sets 10 are my folkte, but in a sma way no days of faithfully God wi a lang white beard, or painted Jesus in a haze o blue and goud, a gird a boot his hide or some sick thing. It's been a sair come doon, and the trades knocked to what it was. Unnatural practices are the cause. Baith bairns and gods'll be obsolete soon, the twaisome gang thagither, and forsooth Scotland turn Eliot's waste the land o' drouth. But even as the stana the builders reject becomes the corner stana, the time may be when Scotland sall find oot its destiny, and yield the vsek lovek 11 at a events, our Europe flawed atween, my whim, and mayer than whim, it pleases to seek the hond o Russia as a freen in work in oot mankind's great synthesis. Melville 12, a Scot, Kent will who Christ's corrupted into creeds malign, begotten strife's pernicious brood that claims for patron him divine. The kirk in Scotland still I cry crooks war it canna crucify. Christ, bleedin' like the thistle's roses, he saw as I in similar case mayestly in beauty and in fear, ud paralyse the nobler race, smite or suspend, perplex, deter, and, tortured, prove the torturer. And never mayer a Scots all tryst, abbeys on Calvary, wi Christ, unless, maybe, a poem like thistle exterior reads things in a thistle, and gie him in this form forlorn what Melville socked in vain fray Hawthorne. Spirit o strife, destroy in turn sign this fuel's paradise, sign that, in these in Calvaries that hour come daith after daith let me be caught, or in the human form that haughtids us in its ignominious thrall, while on brute needs our souls attend until disease and death end all, or in the grey deluded brain, reflectin in another field the torments o its parent flesh in thought prevent in thought concealed, or still in cursed impossible mold, last thistle shape men think to tack, the soul, fray. Flesh and thought set free, on heaven's straight if unseen rack. There may be hiker forms in which we can name or plick define, because the agonies involved bring us there an anodyne. Yet still we suffer and still sol, although, purer fools, we mayna kent as lang as like the thistle we in coil and in recoil are pent. And fairer than mankind can look ghast shapes that free but to transfix twine rose crooned in their agonies, and strive again the endless pricks. The double play that bigs and bracks in endless victory and defeat is in your spikes and roses shown, and my soul is haggard wit. Be like the thistle, O my soul, heedless o praise and quick to tack affront, and growin like a mockery o mayest life can want or thole, and manifest forever mayer contempt o ilka goal. O ilka goal save Anna Elaine, to be your soul, whatever that may be, and as contemptuous o that, Kenan knocks worth the ha en, but certainty that knocked can be, and who that certainty to gain. For this you still maun grow and grope in the abyss wi ever deepen in roots that croon your scunner wi the grew o hopeless hope and gin the abyss is bottomless, your growth'll never stop. What earthquake shitters oot in the thistle's ori shape, what gliads o central fire in its reed hides escape, and what nakunter forces in growth and ingrowth grape in an eternal clinch in this oat quiescent form that winna be outcast, but triumphs at the last, our abbeys itsel as fur as we can tell, sin fray the Eden o the world ilka man in turn is hurled, and ilka garden rins to waste that was ever to his taste. Oh, keep the thistle yont the war which your skeletons you'll thraw. In the thistle's land, as U13 in Russia where struggle in giant form proceeds forever mayor, in my SMA measure but address a similar task, and for a share your Apollon genius ask. Wa built in revelations what mayest men in reserves, and only men confound. A better gift deserves Frey on a wa like his cell, as ant heap unto mountain, needs bigs his life upon the everlopen fountain that Frey the dark ascends war life begins, thocht ends a better gift deserves than the weenyuteran nerves. For mind's the clearest insect man's facility for constant self-deception, and who his mind can be but as a floatin' iceberg that hides aneth the sea its bulk, and who Frey depths in unfathomed flood tensions nerves arise and humors the blood keathans none can trace to their original place. Who mony men to mak a man it tax he kens wakens life's plan. But there are flegsome deeps where the soul Scotland sleeps that I to bottom need to walk guid kens what did, play at sterdelastoby, wi nations dust for hobby, or wi god sell commerce for the making a verse. Melville, sea compelling man, before whose wand Leviathan rose hoary white upon the deep, 14 What thou hast sown I fain ud reap knowledge yont the human mind in keepin wi o'er Scottish kind, and, thanks to thee, may Abelins reach to what this Russian has to teach, closer than ony ither Scot, closer to me than my thocht, closer than my bride to me, as close as to the deity approachable in whom appears this Christ the neast those and years. As Frey your bagged wife you turned whenever able, and often when you werena, unto the gammon table, and opened wide to ruin your ben mayest heard, I brew in a horror whatever seemed likely to deliver you Frey the senseless strife in which Elaine is life, as Burns in Edinburgh breenged ars our hide thorough it could be the spur to pluck his sautéed furrow, and turned Frey a men honor to what could only scunner wa thinks that common sense can be but offense to keep a soul worth. Ha and Frey what it sudbd and saei in turn mon gie my soul to misery, datal disease upon my knees, and welcome madness wi exceed in gladness I, open wide my herd to the thistles smurred. And the hopes men saul be likewhiles then to gar my soul betray its only richtfu way, or as a cuthie wife that seeks nay mayor Frey life than domesticity enwi the likes me as gin I could be carin for her or for her bairn when on my road I'm foreign I can spend a nicht in ony man's delict or wi ony woman born but I be aft the morn. In the Inklin's cryptic, then, an epileptic, I ha been stood in you and droke it in there grew till I can see richt through ilk weakness my frame and ilk adairn and shame, and can employ the same to juk the curse fame, lost Frey the dominion popular opinion, and risen at last abun the thistle like a moon that looks serenely doon on what queer things there are in an inferior star that couldna be, or see, themselves, except in me. Wi burnt oot hurt and poxy face I saw illumina the place, and there is ne'er a fount grace that isna in a similar case. Let the thistle's growth be as a process, then, my spirits gain richt through, and needna thride again, though in it all be haughty for I the feck men was queer contortions there as memories I can, as memories my and mony an ancient pain. But sin while wound free mon tak like coerce to me, a Philip I wad gie their eccentricity, and leave the lave to dree their weirdless destiny. It's no with it regret that I mon follow yet the road that led me past humanity sae fast, yet scarce can gie a fate that is at last mayor fit to them what tak that gate then there's wa winna ha et, seein that nae man can get by ony airt or while, a destiny quite worthwhile as fur as he can tell or even you yoursel. And I canna thole Iblin my soul, and fain I wad be free my eternal me, nor fair Mijel Elaine with it that te be gain, and this, I ha nae dood, this road'll bring a bood. The munilik that our clear defines the thistle's shrill cantankerous lines en noa whiles insubstantializes its grisly form and stead devises a maze licht, a siller frame, as 'twere God's dream Frey which it came, ne'er into bane corsanate yet, the essence low and pure in it, as though the fire o'ercame the clay, and left its wraith in endless day. These are the moments when a sense like mist is vanished and intense, magic emerges frae the dense body o' bane and beaks immense as, like again ooto a bottle, death rises phrase when o'er lives crottle. These are the moments when my sang clears its white feet frae oot among my broken thocht, and moves as free as souls frae bodies when they die. There's naething left o me ava save I'd hoped micht whiles before. Sic sang to men is little worth. It has nae message for the earth. Men see their world turn tap sal tiri, drook it in a licht hour eerie, or sent Berlin like a peery sign it turns a they've kent till then to shapes they can nae langer ken. Men canna look on na kit licht. It flings them back wi darkened sicht, and een that canna look at it, maun draw earth closer round them yet or, their sick tint, find nocht instead that answers to their waeful need. And yet this essence frae the clay in double form I bracks away, for, in addition to the licht, there is an increasin nicht, a nicht that is the bigger, and gangs round licht like an airn band that no and then mayortically grips, and snuffs it in a black eclipse, but rings it mayest lit as a broth the mune, till it's juist bricked enough will I never lose a licht I canna douse again in spite, or dull to haud it within my sicht. The thistle canna vanish quite. Inside a licht its shape maun glint, a spirit wi a skeleton inti the world, the flesh, bide in us as in the fire the unburnt bus, or as frae sire to son we gang and countless corpses in us thrang. And the glory that descends I kenna whence on me depends, and shapes itself to what is left war I o me me bereft, and still the form is mine, although a force to which I ne'er could grow is movin' inti as twere a sea that lang syne drooned the last o me that drooned afore the world began a that could ever come frae man. And as at sickna times am I wad Scotland to my eye until I saw a timeless flame tak ochter much d for a name, and kent that Ecclefton stood as pairt o an eternal mood. Ahint the glory comes the nicht as Maori to London's ruins, and I'm amused to see the plicht o licht as tea in the black tide drones, yet even in the brain o chaos for Scotland I wad hine a place, and let Tinabruach still be pairt and parcel o its will, and Culloden, black as hell, a knowledge it has o itsel. Thou, Dostoyevsky, understood, why had your land in your bluid, and into it as in a mold the passion o your bane rolled, inherited in turn frae heaven or sources for abun it even. Sae God retracts in endless stage through angel, devil, age on age, until at last his infinite nature walks on earth a human crater, or less than human as to my the people are in Aberdeen, Sae man returns in endless growth till God in him again has scuth. For sickle towards wisdom's croon who for a man maun base him doon, who plunge a boot in chaos ere he finds his need fulfitten there, the matrix ooto which sublime serenity sol soar in time. I the cruelty I need, contempt and sign contempt o that, and still contempt in endless meed that I may never yet be caught in ony satisfaction, or birdlime that winna let me soar. Is Scotland big enough to be a symbol o that force in me, in was divine inebriety a sicht abun contempt I'll see. For a that Scottish is in me, as a things Russian were in thee, and I in turn ud be an action to pit in a concrete abstraction my country's contraire qualities, and mak a unity o these till my love our its history dwells, as art own to appeal o bells. And in this hiker stratosphere as bairn at giant at the I peer. O Jean, in whom my spirit sees, clearer than through whiskey or disease, its dairnan nature, wad the sear chin licked o'er union raises poured o'er me the nicht. I'm faced wi aspects o mijal at last was portent nocht can tell, save that sheer licht o life that when we're joint loops through me like a fire else te aroint. Clear my lord flesh, and let me move in the peculiar licht o love, as ablins in eternity men may when their swack souls nay mayor are clogged wi clay. Be thou the licht in which I stand entire, in thistle shape, as planned, and no half hidden and half seen as here in Munilicht, whiskey, and in fleshly fear, in fear to look o'er closely at the grisly form in which I'm caught, in sick-reelan and imperfect licht sprung frae incongruous elements the nicht. But wert by thou they were shown on, then wad I hae nae dread to con the ugsome problems shapen in my soul, or gin I had certs, nae fear you'd thole. Be in this fibre like an eye, and ilka turn and twist descry, who hear a leaf, a spine, a rose, or as the purpose o' the poor that brings tea to pass. Sign liberate me frae the stree, as wha had there imprisoned me, the end achieved or show me at the least mayor meanin in tea, and hope o' bane released. I te hae heard eternity drip water, I water, water, drap by drap on the ae nerve, like lichtnin, I've become, and heard God pass in wi a bobby's feet o it by in the lang coffin o the street scene stang by chitterin naughty stang lu oot uncrushed by th echoes o the thunderin boot, till a the dizzy lint white lines o torture made a monstrous thistle in the space aboot me, a symbol o the puzzle o man's soul and in my agony been prideful I could still tine nae least quiver or twist, watch ilka point like a white-het bodkin ripe my inmayest heard, and I clearer pain that brocht nae anodyne, but rose forever to a fur crescendo like eagles that o it soar wi skin clan wings the thieveless sun they blin and prideful still that yont the sharp wings o the eagles flee in aboot the dowless pole o space, like leaves aboot a thistle shank, my bluid could still throw roses up and up. O rootless thistle through the world that's peart o you, gin you'd withstand the agonies still to come, you maun send roots doon to the deeps unkent, for deeper than it's possible for aught to gang, save in the human soul, deeper than God himsel has knowledge o, war lichtnins canna probe that cleave the world, war only in the entire dark there's founts o strength eternity's poisoned draps can never file, and muckle roots thicken, deep to Bobby's feet. A mony branchian candelabra fills the lift and slow in wi the stars, the octopus creation is as wallopin in countless fathoms o a nameless sea. I am the candelabra, and burn my endless candles to an unkent God. I am the mind and meanin o the octopus that thraws its empty arms through a inane. And a the beats and suns hae big there cames upon the surface o the sea. My lips may feast forever, but my guts ken naething o the food o gods. Let there be licht, said God, and there was a little, but he lacked the power to licht up mair than peart o space atins, and there is lots o darkness that's the same as gin he'd never spoken mair darkness than there's licht, and dwarfin tea to a candle flame, a spalin candle that'll soon a gang oot. Darkness comes closer to us than the licht, and is our natural element. We peer oot frae tea like cats een bleasin in a ghost true's nicht, war there is naught to find but stars that look like ither catseen, like catseen, and there is naught to find save and we turn them in upon oursels, cats canna. Darkness is wi us a the time, and licht but visits peart o us, the weest peart frae time to time on a short day atween twa nichts. Nae licht is thrawn on them by ony licht. Licht thraws nae licht upon itsel, but in the darkness them waseen nae fleet in licks hae dazzled and deceived find qualities o licht, keener than ony licht, keen and obedeen, that show the nicht unto itsel, and sign the licht, that queer extension o the dark, that seems a separate and a different thing, and, seemin sae, has lang confused the dark, and set it at cross purposes wi itsel. O little life in which death guises and deceives itsel, joy that makes grief a Janus, hope that is despair's faw's face, and guid and ill that are the same, save as the chance licht faw's. And yet the licht is there, whether frae within or frae without. The conscious dark can use it, dazzled nor deceived. The licht is there, and instinct for it, peart o the dark and o the need to guise, to deceive and be deceived, but let us then be undeceived when we deceive ourselves. Let us enjoy deceit, this instinct in us. Licht changes naething, and gin there is a God wha made the licht we are adapted to receive, he changed naething, and hesniketh his cell. Save in this licht that fos war the auld nicht was, showin naething that the darkness didna hide, and gin it shows a part o that confunden mayer than it confides even in that. The epileptic thistle twitches, a trick o wound or mune or een or whiskey. A brain laid bare, a nervous system, the skeleton wi which men labor and bring to life in death risen frae the dead, ha ye seen my dead man's eunuch offspring. The licht frae bare banes whitening ever mayer, frae twitchin nerves thrawn frae naked thocht, works in the darkness like a fell disease, a hungry acid and a cancer, disease o death in life and life in death. O for a root in some untroubled soil, some called soil yont this fevered world, that ud draw darkness frae a virgin source, and send it slow and easeful through my veins, release the tension o my grisly leaves, withdraw my endless spikes, move counter to the force in me that haudids me raxed and rigid and ridiculous, and let my roses drap like punctured bows that at a fair fa frae the lupin jet. Water again. Omsk and the Calton turn again to dust, the suns and stars fizz out with little fuss, the bobby booms away and seems to bust, and leaves the world to darkness and to us. The circles of our hungry thoughts swing savagely from pole to pole. Death and the raven drift above the graves of Sweeney's body and soul. My name is Norval. On the Grampian Hills it is forgotten, and deserves to be. So are the Grampian Hills and all the people who ever heard of either them or me. What's in a name? From pole to pole our interlinked mentality spins. I know that you are docile, and suppose that therefore I am widder shins. Do you reverse? Shall us? Then let's. Cyclone and anti, how absurd. She should know better at her age. Anti's an ass, upon my word. This is the sort of thing they teach the Scottish children in the school. Poetry, patriotism, manners, no wonder I am such a fool. Who can I grapple wi the thistle sign, be intricate as it and up to its moves? I airts its sheen and points are lupin yont me, Cahile still the firmament it proves. And sign it's like a web in which the world squats like a spider, Cahile the mune and me are tigled in an endless corner ot tiovin fecklessly. The wan leaves shakatur us like the snaw. Here is the cava bird in which earth's tint. There's nobody but oblivion and us, pure gangrel buddies, wanderin' hameless in tea. The stars are larocus o auld cottages, and at times glen is fu o blinen stew. Nay freenly lawsin skimmers, and the wound rises and separates even me and you 15 I ken nae Russian and you ken nae Scots. We canna tell our voices frae the wound. The snaw is seekin everywhere, our hearts at last like roofless Ingles it has fund, and gethers there in drift on endless drift, our broken hearts that it can never fill, and still its leaves like snaw, its growth like wound the thistle rises and forever will. The thistle rises and forever will, getherin the generations under tea. This is the monument o they were, and they hoped and wondered. The barren tree, dry leaves, and crackling thorns, this is the mind o a humanity, the empty intellect that left to grow let nocht ither be. Lo! It has choked the sunlick scouden grain, and strangled sign the white hairst o the mune. Thocht that max o the food o nocht but thocht is richling grey abun. O fitly frae o'er cancerous soil may this heraldic horror rise. The Presbyterian thistle flourishes, and its en roses crucifies. No Edinburgh Castle or the fields o Bannockburn or Flodden are Dairnan wi the miskin soul Scotland sae lang has had in. It hands nae pew in ony kirk, the soul Christ cam to save, nae r.s.as ha e penti it, f.s.as fund its grave. Is it alive or dead? I show my herd wha will can see. The secret clyer in Scotland's life has brust and reams through me, a wumlin sea in which is heard the clunk o' nameless banes, a grisly thistle dirlin shrill abune the broken stands. Westminster Abbey nor the Fleet, nor England's constitution, but in a the michty city there, you mind a flegget slut, as Tolstoy o Lucerne Lane minded a beggar minstrel scene. The wounded side draws o' the world. Barbarians ha lizard zine. Glusks a gless war Magdalenes discovered in a million crimes. Christ comes again wisht, what na bairn in Backlands cries betimes. Hard faces prate o' their success, and pickle makers on the hills. There is nae life in a the land but this infernal thistle kills. Nae mayor I see as ins I saw Mijel in the thistle hearth and haw. Nel suo profondo vidice es interno legato con amore in un volume, or else by hate, fu aft the better love, cioche per el universo si squaderna. Sustanzia ed accidenti, e lor costume. Quasi conf lodi insim fertal modo. The michty thistle in waspuns I rove, che ciochio dico e un semplice lum 16 and Kent and was creation in a its countless forms, or glitterin in raw sunlight, or dark wi hurrying storms. But what's the voice that sings in me noa? Ae hof o me tellin the tither it's fu. It's the voice o the sooth that's held our lang my Viking north wi its siren sang. Fair come on echo sayus. If a that I can be's nae mayor than what mankind's been yet, I'll know begink the instincts thistle-wise that dern and canna show. Damned thrides and thrums and skinny shapes o'er that micht, and sud, ha been life anyhow at ony price, in sick I'll no be seen. Fair come on echo sayus. The wee reliefs we hae in booze, or woon at times in carnal states, may hide frae us but canna change the silly horrors o' our fates. Fair come on echo sayus. There's muckle in the root that never can woon oot, or our what is ud sweep like a thunderstorm our sheep. But shadows whiles upcreep, and heavy tremors leap. Cwa, death, again, sned life's vain shoot, and your en counsel keep. Time like a bien wife, truth like a dog's gain the bien wife's gain to the umri to get the pure dog a bane. Opens the umri door, and lo! The skeleton's there, and the good dog, truth, has gotten banes for ever mayor. Mon ite perish in the keel o heaven, and is this frat upon the air the ply o cross-brathed cordage that engloffs and gowls bracks up the vision o the world's brick gy. Ship's tackle and an emiscairn o frowk darker than clamurin veins are ruined me yet, a plate o shadows thicker than the flesh, a fank o toes that binds me hand and foot. What gin the gourd foliary on high end o the fain rels o the michty ship gie back mayor licked then faz upon them ev engine sick black ingongs hauded us in their grip. Grugus thistle, to my een your wit of our rammel evince, sibness to snakes was coils rin kunter erts at yince, and fain I'd follow each gin you the trickle teach. Blin root to bleeze in rose, through the whirligig o shanks and leaves and jags what sends yes sickerig. Bramble yoken earth and heaven, till their baith stramulurt driven. Roses to lure the lift and roots to while the clay and whoopee brain ches sign to clap them midyards tay till you've the precious pair like hanged men dancin' there, wi monia seely prickle you'll fleg a sunburst oot, or kittle earthquakes up wi in a musin root, while, kilted in your tippet, they still can mac their rippet. And let me pit in guid set terms my quarrel with our sunsy rose, that rendezvoused its devotees a fair fat cast o aureole throws that blinds them, in its merely goes, to the necessity o foes. Upon their king and system I glower as on things that whiles impaired I may admire, at least for them, but wi nay claim upon my herd, while their pleasure and their pride o outside me lies and their mon bide. O outside me lies and mayor than that, for I stand still for forces which were subjugated to make way for England's poor, and to enrich the kinds o English, and o Scots, the least congenial to my thoughts. Hoff his soul a Scot mon use indulgen in illusions, and hoff in getten rid o them and come into conclusions wi the demoralison dearth o anything worthwhile on earth. I'm weary o the rose as o my brain, and for a deeper knowledge I am fain than fray this not an object I can gain. Beauty is a thing, but it tines another, for, fags, they never can be fund thagither, and twixt the twa it's no for me to swither. As fray the grun sae thocht fray men springs oot, a furly that tells little o its source, I do't, and has nae vera fundamental root. And called again my hurt are laid the words o Plato when he said, God o geometry is made. Fray my and mind I fought away, that never yet was feared to say what turned the souls o men to clay, nor care gin truth fray me o it sprung in ne'er a lead o ony tongue that ever in a hide was hung. I ken who much o'er life is fated in its first cell is animated, the found fray which the flesh is jetted. I ken who lord the body lies upon the spirit when it flies and fain abun its stars ud rise. And see I know a great will move, and the notions that I love drap into stented groove and groove. It maters not my mind the day, nocht maters that I strive today, for the will moves on in its own way. I shall be moved as it decides to look at life fray ither sides, rejoice, rebel, its turn abides. And as I see the great will spin their fleas a licked fray lang and thin that earth is like a snobby in. To the uncanny thocht I clutch the nature o man's soul is such that it can ne'er wi lifetime touch. Man's mind is in God's image made, and in its wildest dreams arrayed in pairt o truth is still displayed. Then suddenly I see as will as me spun ruin within the will, the helpless forms o God and deal. And on a Berlin edge I see we Scotland squat in like a flea, and dizzy wi the speed, and me. I've often thrown the world fray me, into the pool o space, to see the circles o infinity. Or like a flat stanagard it skied, a Morse code message writ in lick that yet I couldna read Eric the skippin' sparks, the ripples, rit like scritches o a grain o grit neth juggernaut in which I sit. 26 those and years it taxa for a single rounded max, and sign it melts as it were wax. The phoenix guys tll rise in sign is mayer than Euclid or Einstein can dream o ors in dreams o mine. Upon the huge circumference are as Niebuhr points the heavenly war that dung down Lucifer sae far, and that upheaval in which I sojourned neth the Grecian sky and in Italy and Marseilles, and there isna room for men wa the hail o history ken to pit a pin twixt then and then. War are Bannockburn and Flodden. O grain like facets hot en, little wars, twixt that which God infotched and won, and that which he took baith sides in hopelessly, less than God or I can see. By what na cry o mine o atop sol be a men ha sung and hoped when to a note their telescoped. And Jesus and a nameless ape collide and share the self same shape that nocht terrestrial can escape? But less than this nay man need try. He'd better be content to eye the will in silence whirlin' by. Nay verse is worth a het until it can join issue wi the will that raised the will and spins it still, but the music that mankind s made yet is to the earth confined, poorless to reach the general mind, poorless to reach the neast star that as a paired ots cell is seen, and only men can tell between. Yet I exult o'er sang has yet to grow wings that'll carry it on its native speck o grid, and I exult to find in me the thought that this can ever be, a hope still for humanity. For gin the sun and moon at last are as a Niebuhr's lintel past, the will tine its stature fast, and burl in time inside our hides till we can thraw oot conscious gliads that draw an answer to our needs, or if nay answer still we find brighten till a thing is defined in the huge licked beams o our kind, and if we still can find nay trace a hint the will o ony face, there'll be a glory in the place, and we may ablen swing content upon the will in which we're pent inadequate. Enlightenment. Nay ither thocht can mitigate the horror o' the endless fate a thing's world in predestinate. O whiles I'd fain be blind to it, as men wha through the ages sit, and never move frae aft the bit, wha hear a Burns or Shakespeare sing, yet still their an bit jingles string, as they were worth the fashioning. Whatever Scotland is to me, be it I pairt o immense o earth and o eternity wha winna hide their hides in tea till it seems the hail o space to fill, as tea were an unsurmounted hill. He canna Scotland see wha yet canna see the infinite, and Scotland in true scale to it. Nor blame I muckle, wamateur earth's countries blaw, a picklester, to sort was grains they ha e na poor. En stars are seen thagither in a iskame o licht as grey as tin flyin on the will as t were a pin. Sine ither systems ray on ray skinkle past in quick array while it is still the self same day, a day o'er the million days through which the soul o man can gaze upon the wheel's incessant blaze, upon the wheel's incessant blaze as it were on a single place that twinklin filled the how o space. A point is a that it can be, IWIS nay man ll ever see the rest o the rotundity. Impersonality sol blaw through me as twere a bluff furt o snaw to scour me o my sense o awe, a bluff furt o snaw, the lick that flees within the wheel, and freedom gies frae dust and death and a disease, the drumly doom that only weighs on them wha ha ena seen their place yet in creation's lichtnin race, in the movement that includes as a tide's resistless floods of their movements and their moods until disinterested we, o'er all delusions free, low in the wheel's serenity as conscious items in the licht, and keen to keep it clear and bricked in which the hail machine is dight, the licht nay man has ever seen till he has felt that he's been gin the stars themselves instead o een, and often wi the sun has glowered at the white moon until it cowered, as when by new thocht alds o'erpowered. Our universe is like an turned in, man's been mayest heard to see, and swamped in subjectivity. But whether it can use its sick to bring what lies with it to lick to answers still I ont my micht. But when that interned look has brought to licht what still in vain it socked o itward mon be the bent o thocht. And organs may develop sign responsive to the need divine o single-minded human keen. The function, as it seems to me, o poetry is to bring to be at lang last that unity. But weighs me on the weary wheel. Higgledy-piggledy in tea we reel, and little it cares who we may feel. 26 those and years tll tack for it to thrive the zodiac a single rund o the will to mac. Lately it turned I saw Mijel in sick a company doomed to mel. I micht ha been in Dante's hell. It shows who little the best o men eno themselves at times can, I soon as saw that when I gied ben. The lesser will within the big that moves as merry as a grig, wi mankind in its whirligig and hasn't turned a circle yet though as it turns we slide in it, and needs mon tack the place we get, I felt it turn, and sign I saw John Knox and Clavers in my raw, and Mary Queen o Scots Anna, and Rabbie Burns and Wheelum Wallace, and Carlyle lookin' Unco Gallus, and Harry Lauder, to enthrall us. And as I looked I saw them the Scots baith big and sma, that are the brythe o life did draw. Mercy o God, I cannot ol wi sicken are a mob to roll. Wheesht. It's for the guid o your soul. But what's the meanin', what's the sense? Men shift but by experience. Twixt Scots there is nae difference. They canna learn, sae canna move, but stick for I to their auld groove the only race in history who've bidden in the same category fraister to present o their story, and deem their ignorance their glory. The mayor they differ, mayor the same. The will can wummel but them, they see their obstinacy hame, and pure auld Scotland bleat wi pride, and wi their minds made up to bide a thorn in the wide world's side. Their ben Scots wa ha and thox, they're strewn through mayest o the various lot sick traders are nae langer Scots. But in this huge ineducable heterogeneous hotch and rabble, why am I condemned to squabble? A Scottish poet maun assume the burden o' his people's doom, and d to brack their living tomb. Mony hae tried, but a hae failed. Their sacrifice has not availed. Upon the thistle they're impaled. You maun choose but gin yed see another category ye maun tine your nationality. And I look at the random band the will leaves war it fand em. Ouch, to hell, I'll tack it to Avizandum. Oh ways me on the weary wheel, and fain I'd understand them. And blessin' on the weary wheel wherever it may land them. But Jean kens what I been through the nicht, I dinna doot it, she'll ope her arms in welcome true, and clack nay mayor aboot it, asterisk 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 the stars like thistles roses flow the sterile growth o space o'atur, that clad in bitter blast spreads oot frame me, the sustenance o its root. O fain I'd keep my hurt entire, fain hein the licht o my desire, but ek. The shinin' streams ascend, and leave me empty at the end. For in its tombed my hurt and brain, the thistle needs maun fa again. But its growth ll never fill the hole it's turned my life until. Yet hae I silence left, the croon oa. Know her, what on the hills lang syne I saw liftin of forehide o perpetual snaw. Know her, what in the how dum diet o nict kyths, like eternity in times despite. Know her, with it in shape, was name is Daith, know him, uncannibal abbeys to faith God whom, gin he saw a man, udben mayor dumbfunnered at the sick than he. But him, whom knocked in man or deity, or daith, or drade or laneliness can touch, was deed our often and has seen our much. Oh I hae silence left, and will ye micht, sae Jean'll say, efter sickenecht. The end. Footnotes 1 from the Russian of Alexander Blok. 2 freely adapted from the Russian of Alexander Blok. 3 from the Belgian poet, George Rama-Ekers. 4 adapted from the Russian of Zinaida Hippias. 5 suggested by the German of Els Laskerschuler. 6 suggested by the French of Edmond Rocher. 7 tragical crack, Dostoevsky's term. 8 the line which precedes these in Mallarmé's poem is a may ije unreve, and Wilfred Thorley translates the passage thus loved I love's counterfeit. My doubts, begotten of the long night's heat, dislimn the woodland till my triumph shows as the flawed shadow of a frustrate rose. 9 the general strike, May 1926. 10 God-bearers. 11 the all-man or pan-human. 12 Herman Melville. 13 Dostoevsky. 14 quoted from Robert Buchanan. 15 Dostoevsky. 16 Wicksteed's translation of Dante's Italian, Paradiso, Canto XXXIII 85-90, is as follows: within its depths I saw engathered, bound by love in one volume, the scattered leaves of all the universe, substance and accidents and their relations, as though together fused, after such fashion that what I tell of is one simple flame. Glossary. Abash, Upple. Abbeys accept. Abordage the act of getting on board. Aft rins the remainder, off scourings. Agally off the right line, wrong. A hint behind. Ablins perhaps. Adel foul slop. Iker motion, or break, made in water by fish swimming rapidly. Erglack, or what anything requires to bring it up to the level. Ert's directions. A list to come, a list, to recover from faintness or decay. Aroint clear away. Arrears goes backward. A tour out from. Ocht fit 8 foot. Recovered. On, to own. Avizandum to defer decision. Backhoff, to be worn to, practically worn out. Backlands Glasgow slum tenements. Bagot enceinte. Bairn time, a woman's breeding time. Barkin and Fleine on the verge of ruin. Barley Brie whiskey. Barrow steel, to tack my, to cooperate. Boz balls. Botch sorry. Ba wa an oblique look of contempt or scorn. Bean swap the hull of a bean, anything of no value. Bettina silly importunacy. Beaks shows. Belly throcolic. Belth sudden swirl. Ben, to gang, to go in. Ben mayest inmost. Beal shelter. Bien complacent. Blash sudden onset. Blate bashful. Blubs drops. Blood hers nonsense. Blinen stew storm through which impossible to see. Blinterin gleaming. Bloody o a school game. Bluff furt squall. Bobby policeman. Bud to must. Boss, of body, front. Brat scum. Bro handsome. Breenge burst. Broth ring, round moon. Buddies folks. Buff nor sty one thing or another. Big trunk, of body. Burst and kern difficult harvest. Bus bush. Cairn pile. Camsteri perverse, unmanageable. Capillo, to, outdistance. Carline old woman, which. Cavabird dense snowstorm. Chaff's chops. Chia tree deceit, fraud. Chitterin trembling violently, shivering. Chowd chewed. Chowl, to, twist, distort. Chun's sprouts or germs. Cloth shrunken. Clave cloth. Claft, to grab at. Clegg gadfly. Clikes the merest adumbration. Clints cliffs. Clier two more, gland. Clydic balderdash. Cod pillow. Cumdune degradation. Conached abused, spoiled. Coom comb. Kunder counter. Corb audi comes in that is the obstacle. Cordage tackling of a ship. Cornet enough, lit cur ennuyé, internally disquieted. Cotton's cotter houses. Copen overturning, emptying. Courage bag scrotum. Cuthie comfortable. Cutrabat struggle. Cree, legs wi, not safe to meddle with. Creel in a state of mental excitement or confusion or physical agony. Croc cats upon, one's, dignity. Cross-brath braided. Cross-tap mizzen mast. Crottle crumble away. Cuckold hoodwinked, diddled. Cued barrel. Cull testicle. College genitals. Dander temper. Dachi sly, secret. Daunton overawe. Deef deaf, unimpressionable. Deemless countless. Derf taciturn, cruel. Dern hide. Ding bang down. Doit mad. Donert dazed, stupefied. Dotlin maundering. Dupe backside. Doer intractable. Dowf hollow, gloomy, inert. Dowless imponderable. Dows quench. Doesn't stupid. Drobs falls like hail. Druket soaked. Drumly troubled, discolored. Dumdy at midnight. Dwamin overpowering. Dwinen dwindling. Eel arc breeding ground for eels. Emus ill-poised. Eneyes. Ident busy. Eisen lustful. Elbuck elbow. Edel aspire. Faberdun faux bourden. Fair completely. Fain rels accessories. Fank o toes coil of ropes. Fankles becomes clumsy. Fantas whimsicality. Farls filaments of ash. Fash trouble. Feck majority. Fecklessly impotently. Furley's wonders. Fay fated. Fidge move. Figuration harmony. File defile. Flochter flutters. Flotta based. Fleck flee. Fleg frighten. Flay flit. Forfoken completely tired out. Forgeether meet. Fork in the wa means of diverting share of labor pains to husband. Foo drunk. Foodry lightning. Foosome disgusting. Frat fret work. Fraucht cargo. Frets plumes of foam or froth. Fremd friendless, isolated. Fogiest most stupid. Foliary, lit, foliage. Geddes bloomers, howlers, gaffs. Gaff hook for fish. Galliard rapid dance. Gallus reckless. Gammon's feed. Gangrel wanderer. Gannian rhodomontade. Gondin yawning. Gant rees planks for putting barrel on. Gausty ghastly, ascetic. Gaw, to have a catch upon. Gield congealed. Geg trick, deception. Gel on the go. Gamel double harmony. Get bastard. Gubby very. Gillies very much. Gil hop hub of all weathers, hostelry of life. Gerd hoop. Glaur mud. Gleg eager. Gliad sparks. Glisk gleam, glance. Glitz lime. Glof's darknesses appearing denser than other parts of atmosphere. Glower gaze at. Gome gaze stupidly at. Gourd frosted. Ghost trues frightful. Gauk storm of short duration, subsense of foolish fuss. Gauls hollows, opposite of glofs. Gree, to bear off, carry off the palm. Grise huckle embers. Gru revulsion. Grugus ugly. Gruntle pig's nose. Gully savage. Guts bowels. Gy spectacle. Haggis unknown. Hind preserve. Hare, kime to lift, on the go. Hairst harvest. Happet covered. Harn's brains. Hearth lean. Hofflin's adolescent boys. Ho hollow. Hike skeech irresponsible. Hod and hidden. Howd shorn down. How hollow. How dumdy at midnight. How public house. HWLL ululation. Ilka every. Ingong's intestines. Inglace hearths. Inklin's intuitions. Jag prick. Jalouse guess. Jop splash. Jizen child bed, lit. In the straw. Juk dodge. Kaya drive. Kime comb. Keat hin circles betraying fish's movements. Kelter waggle. Kelty bumper. Kilted, in a tippet, hung in a noose. Kink, to, bend or twist. Kirk or mill, to mac to do the best one can. Kissed chest, breast. Kiddle, adjective, ticklish. Kiddle, to, tickle. Noal pin or peg. Kyths appears, shows. Larocus foundations. Lave rest. Lear learning. Lead strain. Litten in going backwards and forwards. Lift sky. Little bodies fairies. Lock in little lock. Loppert coagulated. Lord heavy, overcharged, cloudy. Low flame. Loose free, loosen. Lawson window. Lugs ears. Makeless matchless. Mapamound map of the world. Marrow, winsome, a creditable limb. Mel's mixes. Merely goes dazzle. Mockage banter, irony, contempt. Mochiness closeness. Moni plies intestines. Musub spider's web. Muckle big. Muckle tune, P17, Langholm in Dumfriesshire. Mum silent. Monkey rope with noose at end. Monk swings away. Muchkin liquor measure, half bottle. Nay most perilous. Nathless nevertheless. Natter rant. Neast next. Nesh full of awareness. Knocked nothing. Ori weird. O it by outside. O it cuis an outcast. O it tri outre. Ara not up to much. Peepee show cinema. Puri spinning top. Penny weep small ale. Pickle small quantity. Pern real. Plum deep pool. Pokiness congestion. Prick sang compositions. Queen lass, woman. Quenry reminiscences of dealings with women. Raff, of rain, a few streaks of rain. Ragments odds and ends. Rammel branches. Rat rhyme incantations for killing rats. Rax strain. Recall reminiscences. Rishlin rustling. Rice tea dried. Ripe surge. Rippet rumpus. Ripples diarrhea. Rit scrape. Rive torn. Rookie misty. Root hewn awkward. Rook smoke, mist. Road rolled, wrapped up. Rowan rolling. Rumple fikich in anus. Runkled wrinkled. Salmon deck of ship. Sclatry obscenities. Scount small example. Scuthscope. Scunner, to, disgust. Scunnersome repulsive. Sealfa blissful. Sent rice's scaffolding. Sir serve. Shas lock loose straw, litter. Shekel wrist. Sibness relationship. Sicker, to make certain. Sinen sinew. Shunshoes. Skame gleam. Skin clan shining, twinkling. Skirly the pan fried oatmeal. Slorp lap up, slobber over. Slouch sharp fall. Sunsy contented. Spalen burning away. Spiel climb. Spire-esque. Splargen spluttering. Stang paroxysm. Sta tree pole for tethering cattle to. Steeken shutting. Steg glut. Stented appointed. Stertalastobi exhalations. Sterdust. Stramash rumpus. Stramuleyard panic stricken. Strawn strings or chains. Swack active, supple. Svav ripple. Swippert lively. Swith wi veer vehement. Swither hesitate. Sign thereafter. Tiglet entangled. Tap sal tiri topsy turvy. Thebeless impotent. Thordarill's paralytic seizures. Thou-thaw. Thowless impotent. Thrang busy. Thring shrug. Tomb, to, empty. Tories pom-poms. Twazome the two of them. Tyave, to, struggle. Ugsome ugly, horrid. Euloge deficiency in contents of barrel. Unco very. Uncannibal unknowledgeable. Venal lane, narrow street. Vibe vivid. Wab. Way woeful. Waysome woeful. Way sucks alas. Wanchancy unfortunate. Wan ert confused. War worse. Weird fate. Weirdless worthless. Weening complaining. Weesht hush. Wummel overturn. Widafow perverse. Windle straw. Wizened shrunk. Worm eye the cheek toothache. Wapee winding, wound round. Yablin gabbling. Yank throw. Yggdrasil, Celtic, Tree of Life. Printed in Great Britain by William Blackwood and Sons Ltd. End of the Project Gutenberg ebook. A drunk man looks at the thistle. Updated editions will replace the previous one. The old editions will be renamed. Creating the works from print editions not protected by U.S. copyright law means that no one owns a United States copyright in these works, so the Foundation, and you, can copy and distribute it in the United States without permission and without paying copyright royalties. Special rules, set forth in the General Terms of Use part of this license, apply to copying and distributing Project Gutenberg trademark electronic works to protect the Project Gutenberg trademark concept and trademark. Project Gutenberg is a registered trademark, and may not be used if you charge for an ebook, except by following the terms of the trademark license, including paying royalties for use of the Project Gutenberg trademark. If you do not charge anything for copies of this ebook, complying with the trademark license is very easy. You may use this ebook for nearly any purpose, such as creation of derivative works, reports, performances, and research. Project Gutenberg ebooks may be modified and printed and given away. You may do practically anything in the United States with ebooks not protected by U.S. copyright law. Redistribution is subject to the trademark license, especially commercial redistribution. Start, full license. The full Project Gutenberg license. Please read this before you distribute or use this work to protect the Project Gutenberg trademark mission of promoting the free distribution of electronic works, by using or distributing this work, or any other work associated in any way with the phrase Project Gutenberg. You agree to comply with all the terms of the full Project Gutenberg trademark license available with this file or online at www.gutenberg.org/license. Section 1. General Terms of Use and Redistributing Project Gutenberg Trademark Electronic Works 1.a. By reading or using any part of this Project Gutenberg trademark electronic work, you indicate that you have read, understand, agree to and accept all the terms of this license and intellectual property, trademark/copyright, agreement. If you do not agree to abide by all the terms of this agreement, you must cease using and return or destroy all copies of Project Gutenberg trademark electronic works in your possession. If you paid a fee for obtaining a copy of or access to a Project Gutenberg trademark electronic work and you do not agree to be bound by the terms of this agreement, you may obtain a refund from the person or entity to whom you paid the fee as set forth in paragraph 1.e.8. 1.b. Project Gutenberg is a registered trademark. It may only be used on or associated in any way with an electronic work by people who agree to be bound by the terms of this agreement. There are a few things that you can do with most Project Gutenberg trademark electronic works even without complying with the full terms of this agreement. See paragraph 1.c below. There are a lot of things you can do with Project Gutenberg trademark electronic works if you follow the terms of this agreement and help preserve free future access to Project Gutenberg trademark electronic works. See paragraph 1.e below. 1.c. The Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation, the Foundation or PGLOF, owns a compilation copyright in the collection of Project Gutenberg trademark electronic works. Nearly all the individual works in the collection are in the public domain in the United States. If an individual work is unprotected by copyright law in the United States and you are located in the United States, we do not claim a right to prevent you from copying, distributing, performing, displaying, or creating derivative works based on the work as long as all references to Project Gutenberg are removed. Of course, we hope that you will support the Project Gutenberg trademark mission of promoting free access to electronic works by freely sharing Project Gutenberg trademark works in compliance with the terms of this agreement for keeping the Project Gutenberg trademark name associated with the work. You can easily comply with the terms of this agreement by keeping this work in the same format with its attached full Project Gutenberg trademark license when you share it without charge with others. 1.d. The copyright laws of the place where you are located also govern what you can do with this work. Copyright laws in most countries are in a constant state of change. If you are outside the United States, check the laws of your country in addition to the terms of this agreement before downloading, copying, displaying, performing, distributing or creating derivative works based on this work or any other Project Gutenberg trademark work. The Foundation makes no representations concerning the copyright status of any work in any country other than the United States. 1.e Unless you have removed all references to Project Gutenberg, 1.e.1. The following sentence, with active links to, or other immediate access to, the full Project Gutenberg trademark license must appear prominently whenever any copy of a Project Gutenberg trademark work, any work on which the phrase Project Gutenberg appears, or with which the phrase Project Gutenberg is associated, is accessed, displayed, performed, viewed, copied or distributed. This ebook is for the use of anyone anywhere in the United States and most other parts of the world at no cost and with almost no restrictions whatsoever. You may copy it, give it away or reuse it under the terms of the Project Gutenberg license included with this ebook or online at www.gutenberg.org. If you are not located in the United States, you will have to check the laws of the country where you are located before using this ebook. 1.e.2. If an individual Project Gutenberg trademark electronic work is derived from texts not protected by U.S. copyright law, does not contain a notice indicating that it is posted with permission of the copyright holder, the work can be copied and distributed to anyone in the United States without paying any fees or charges. If you are redistributing or providing access to a work with the phrase Project Gutenberg associated with or appearing on the work, you must comply either with the requirements of paragraphs 1.e.1 through 1.e.7 or obtain permission for the use of the work and the Project Gutenberg trademark as set forth in paragraphs 1.e.8 or 1.e.9. 1.e.3. If an individual Project Gutenberg trademark electronic work is posted with the permission of the copyright holder, your use and distribution must comply with both paragraphs 1.e.1 through 1.e.7 and any additional terms imposed by the copyright holder. Additional terms will be linked to the Project Gutenberg trademark license for all works posted with the permission of the copyright holder found at the beginning of this work. 1.e.4. Do not unlink or detach or remove the full Project Gutenberg trademark license terms from this work, or any files containing a part of this work or any other work associated with Project Gutenberg trademark. 1.e.5. Do not copy, display, perform, distribute or redistribute this electronic work, or any part of this electronic work, without prominently displaying the sentence set forth in paragraph 1.e.1 with active links or immediate access to the full terms of the Project Gutenberg trademark license. 1.e.6. You may convert to and distribute this work in any binary, compressed, marked up, non-proprietary or proprietary form, including any word processing or hypertext form. However, if you provide access to or distribute copies of a Project Gutenberg trademark work in a format other than plain vanilla ASCII or other format used in the official version posted on the official Project Gutenberg trademark website, www.gutenberg.org, you must, at no additional cost, fee, or expense to the user, provide a copy, a means of exporting a copy, or a means of obtaining a copy upon request, of the work in its original plain vanilla ASCII or other form. Any alternate format must include the full Project Gutenberg trademark license as specified in paragraph 1.e.1. 1.e.7. Do not charge a fee for access to, viewing, displaying, performing, copying or distributing any Project Gutenberg trademark works unless you comply with paragraph 1.e.8 or 1.e.9. 1.e.8. You may charge a reasonable fee for copies of or providing access to or distributing Project Gutenberg trademark electronic works provided that, you pay a royalty fee of 20% of the gross profits you derive from the use of Project Gutenberg trademark works calculated using the method you already use to calculate your applicable taxes. The fee is owed to the owner of the Project Gutenberg trademark, but he has agreed to donate royalties under this paragraph to the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation. Royalty payments must be paid within 60 days following each date on which you prepare, or are legally required to prepare, your periodic tax returns. Royalty payments should be clearly marked as such and sent to the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation at the address specified in Section 4, Information about donations to the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation. You provide a full refund of any money paid by a user who notifies you in writing, or by email, within 30 days of receipt that he does not agree to the terms of the full Project Gutenberg trademark license. You must require such a user to return or destroy all copies of the works possessed in a physical medium and discontinue all use of and all access to other copies of Project Gutenberg trademark works. You provide, in accordance with paragraph 1.f.3, a full refund of any money paid for a work or a replacement copy, if a defect in the electronic work is discovered and reported to you within 90 days of receipt of the work. You comply with all other terms of this agreement for free distribution of Project Gutenberg trademark works. 1.e.9. If you wish to charge a fee or distribute a Project Gutenberg trademark electronic work or group of works on different terms than are set forth in this agreement, you must obtain permission in writing from the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation, the manager of the Project Gutenberg trademark. Contact the Foundation as set forth in Section 3 below. 1.f.1.f.1. Project Gutenberg volunteers and employees expend considerable effort to identify, do copyright research on, transcribe and proofread works not protected by U.S. copyright law in creating the Project Gutenberg trademark collection. Despite these efforts, Project Gutenberg trademark electronic works, and the medium on which they may be stored, may contain defects, such as, but not limited to, incomplete, inaccurate or corrupt data, transcription errors, a copyright or other intellectual property infringement, a defective or damaged disk or other medium, a computer virus, or computer codes that damage or cannot be read by your equipment. 1.f.2. Limited warranty, disclaimer of damages, except for the right of replacement or refund described in paragraph 1.f.3, the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation, the owner of the Project Gutenberg trademark, and any other party distributing a Project Gutenberg trademark electronic work under this agreement, disclaim all liability to you for damages, costs, and expenses, including legal fees. You agree that you have no remedies for negligence, strict liability, breach of warranty or breach of contract except those provided in paragraph 1.f.3. You agree that the Foundation, the trademark owner, and any distributor under this agreement will not be liable to you for actual, direct, indirect, consequential, punitive, or incidental damages even if you give notice of the possibility of such damage. 1.f.3. Limited right of replacement or refund. If you discover a defect in this electronic work within 90 days of receiving it, you can receive a refund of the money, if any, you paid for it by sending a written explanation to the person you received the work from. If you received the work on a physical medium, you must return the medium with your written explanation. The person or entity that provided you with the defective work may elect to provide a replacement copy in lieu of a refund. If you received the work electronically, the person or entity providing it to you may choose to give you a second opportunity to receive the work electronically in lieu of a refund. If the second copy is also defective, you may demand a refund in writing without further opportunities to fix the problem. 1.f.4. Except for the limited right of replacement or refund set forth in paragraph 1.f.3, this work is provided to you as is, with no other warranties of any kind, express or implied, including but not limited to warranties of merchantability or fitness for any purpose. 1.f.5. Some states do not allow disclaimers of certain implied warranties or the exclusion or limitation of certain types of damages. If any disclaimer or limitation set forth in this agreement violates the law of the state applicable to this agreement, the agreement shall be interpreted to make the maximum disclaimer or limitation permitted by the applicable state law. The invalidity or unenforceability of any provision of this agreement shall not void the remaining provisions. 1.f.6. Indemnity. You agree to indemnify and hold the foundation, the trademark owner, any agent or employee of the foundation, anyone providing copies of Project Gutenberg trademark electronic works in accordance with this agreement, and any volunteers associated with the production, promotion, and distribution of Project Gutenberg trademark electronic works, harmless from all liability, costs, and expenses, including legal fees, that arise directly or indirectly from any of the following which you do or cause to occur. A. Distribution of this or any Project Gutenberg trademark work. B. Alteration, modification, or additions or deletions to any Project Gutenberg trademark work, and C. Any defect you cause. Section 2. Information about the mission of Project Gutenberg trademark. Project Gutenberg trademark is synonymous with the free distribution of electronic works in formats readable by the widest variety of computers, including obsolete, old, middle-aged, and new computers. It exists because of the efforts of hundreds of volunteers and donations from people in all walks of life. Volunteers and financial support to provide volunteers with the assistance they need are critical to reaching Project Gutenberg trademark's goals and ensuring that the Project Gutenberg trademark collection will remain freely available for generations to come. In 2001, the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation was created to provide a secure and permanent future for Project Gutenberg trademark and future generations. To learn more about the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation and how your efforts and donations can help, see sections 3 and 4 and the Foundation information page at www.gutenberg.org. Section 3. Information about the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation. The Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation is a non-profit 501(c)(3) educational corporation organized under the laws of the state of Mississippi and granted tax-exempt status by the Internal Revenue Service. The Foundation's IN or Federal Tax Identification Number is 64-6221541. Contributions to the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation are tax-deductible to the full extent permitted by U.S. federal laws and your state's laws. The Foundation's business office is located at 809 North 1500 West, Salt Lake City, Utah 841-16808-596-1887. Email contact links and up-to-date contact information can be found at the Foundation's website and official page at www.gutenberg.org/contact. Section 4. Information about donations to the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation. Project Gutenberg trademark depends upon and cannot survive without widespread public support and donations to carry out its mission of increasing the number of public domain and licensed works that can be freely distributed in machine-readable form accessible by the widest array of equipment, including outdated equipment. Many small donations, $1 to $5,000, are particularly important to maintaining tax-exempt status with the IRS. The Foundation is committed to complying with the laws regulating charities and charitable donations in all 50 states of the United States. Compliance requirements are not uniform and it takes a considerable effort, much paperwork, and many fees to meet and keep up with these requirements. We do not solicit donations in locations where we have not received written confirmation of compliance. To send donations or determine the status of compliance for any particular state, visit www.gutenberg.org/donate. While we cannot and do not solicit contributions from states where we have not met the solicitation requirements, we know of no prohibition against accepting unsolicited donations from donors in such states who approach us with offers to donate. International donations are gratefully accepted, but we cannot make any statements concerning tax treatment of donations received from outside the United States. U.S. laws alone swamp our small staff. Please check the Project Gutenberg web pages for current donation methods and addresses. Donations are accepted in a number of other ways, including checks, online payments, and credit card donations. To donate, please visit www.gutenberg.org/donate. Section 5. General information about Project Gutenberg trademark electronic works. Professor Michael S. Hart was the originator of the Project Gutenberg trademark concept of a library of electronic works that could be freely shared with anyone. For 40 years, he produced and distributed Project Gutenberg trademark ebooks with only a loose network of volunteer support. Project Gutenberg trademark ebooks are often created from several printed editions, all of which are confirmed as not protected by copyright in the U.S. unless a copyright notice is included. Thus, we do not necessarily keep ebooks in compliance with any particular paper edition. Most people start at our website, which has the main PG search facility, www.gutenberg.org. This website includes information about Project Gutenberg trademark, including how to make donations to the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation, how to help produce our new ebooks, and how to subscribe to our email newsletter to hear about new ebooks. A Drunk Man Looks at the Thistle to F. G. Scott. Author's note. A Drunk Man Looks at the Thistle. Footnotes. Glossary. The full Project Gutenberg license 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 108.